You want to unmute and talk to us?
No.
And I'm the one on the bottom. Hey, y'all.
I know.
I don't. I have to earn my spot around here.
Listen, I will be very excited if you ever decide you want to run StreamYards. Listen, no joke. I will proudly hand the gears over. No lie. Hi, you guys. Welcome. How are you? Too funny. I have a surprise for you guys before we get started, but I wanted to say hello to everyone really quick. K-Braze, Kez Chick, Decipher. Hi, Decipher. Hi, Coffee. So good to see you, Jane Doe. Look at all these nice people in here. Here's Kate. Holy crap, you were just live. That was really super fast. I hope you didn't end because of us. We tried to be respectful. MK, Crazy Mama, Delana. You guys notice we have Allie Erickson here with us. Yay.
Hi, guys.
I have a small little surprise for LFT tonight. She did not know I was going to do this, but I wanted to start the stream out really well tonight and on the right path, because last night I got like grumpy. I couldn't run anything, and when I can't run anything, it's like everything just shuts down in my brain. So I wanted to start the stream out right, and I have a little surprise. Let's see if I can bring it up and show it to you guys. I want to put everybody in the right frame of mind before we get started. This is going to be after we're done talking to Allie. This is going to be somewhat of an open panel. So if someone wants to come up and share their thoughts about whatever's going on with Murdoch, true crime, whatever, you can. We'd love to hear from you. But I do want to start this off. It's Saturday night. Welcome to the Saturday night special with Decipher and Allie Erickson. But I wanted to start this off right. Let me share my screen. I know you don't know.
I have no idea.
But this is going to be fun. You're going to enjoy this. You're going to enjoy this.
Okay.
Hey, Kid Kitty. Hey, all you guys in the chat.
All right. We just needed to have a laugh or two before we started. Look, I had to start this stream out right. I saw this today and I almost wet my this poor child. If you can, I'm not going to play the sound, but if you could hear the dad in the background, just keep going. They're waiting for you, honey. I'm sorry, guys. I knew LFT was gonna love this, and I had to just do a laugh before we got started with Mur-Done. Oh. She just braces it. I love it. this poor lady. She she was so persistent. Wait, hold on. Here she comes. She's and man down. Look, lady, there's grass right there. Oh, this poor guy.
This poor man. Oh.
Welcome to New York. Where's my favorite one? This one was my favorite. Hold on. He was found 3 counties over.
Wait, this can't be good.
This poor lady. The driver of the car has to be a nervous wreck. That's all I have to say.
I can go in my brakes, lady.
She's like, I can't.
Drop the Birkin.
Drop the Birkin and keep going. You're not defeated.
I'm never gonna make it. You're never gonna make it to the store. No one's ever gonna see this bag. So
This guy gets points for style.
well, he planned that one. He was like, I'm not even walking this.
She turns into a workout. Oh my god.
No.
I'm sorry. Oh god. Sorry guys. I had to start it out right tonight. I just couldn't help it. LFT loves a good laugh. And to me, there's nothing funnier than people falling on ice. So
I don't know what was better, the video or listening to you laugh at the video.
I love it. It cracks me up. It really does. People falling on ice. Oh, it's not right. I know. That is my own personal karma right there. It's gonna come back to haunt me.
How many do we watch? Like human slingshot one, watching the videos with that. By the way, I didn't even think to ever Google or like put it in our YouTube. So look at Tia's face. That she was like, "How have you never seen this?" I was like, "What?" I mean, I didn't do it at the beach. Like I had the opportunity, but I didn't want to do the expression in the videos of the people are the funniest.
Is it not? I love like
when they like pass out and then come to and like uncle. It just the like screaming and the wide eyes and the oh my god! And then when they beg to not, no, I changed my mind. And then they're like, dude, we already locked you in, and there's a line. So, and they don't even say 3, and they just shoot them off. And it's
1, 2.
like, listen.
Oh. Hi, Amanda Carroll. I miss saying hi to you.
Iris said, "What an opener! What an opener!"
I had wipe out. I had to do something fun. Just to, I don't know. When we started this channel, we envisioned it as like, I believe the way that LFT described it was like, everyone come over, come sit on our back porch, grab whatever beverage of choice you like, put your feet up, and let's just chat. Hey, Amber, I was talking about you last night. Welcome in. And so,
hey, Amber.
It's just fun sometimes when you're discussing cases, just, lighten it up a little bit before we get started. Usually we light it up at the end, but it started off that way tonight.
Well, it gets really dark and depressing, some of this stuff, it just does. We're talking about the worst thing, like the worst situations on earth, period. So,
I know. Hi, Gregory Worth and Shabane. So tonight, I don't know if you saw, we were going to talk about Alec, but the reason we had Allie here is, and I'm going to let LFT kind of ask some questions, because she and Allie were the ones who kind of I don't know. She had some great points. And then when Allie started talking about it, by the way, Allie, I still have my bracelet on. When she started talking about it, it was really easy for me to understand some questions that I had about Alec. And specifically, we're just going to talk about a little bit and trigger warning for anybody. We're going to be talking about recovery. We're going to be talking about drug use and things like that right now. We're going to move on to other stuff too. And we're definitely going to be talking about Alec, but some of the parallels and questions that I had, first of all, no part of me, zero part of me believes that he was addicted to the amount of pills that he says. And that's where some questions come in for Allie for me. As long as she's willing to, share as much or as little as you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything.
We don't want to cross any boundaries or lines. You share what you feel is comfortable. And you obviously have the none of your business answer anytime you like.
Hey, I'm an open book, so.
I know. We appreciate that. And you've helped so many on your channel talking about your story. And I was going to ask you really quick, for those who don't know, would you mind just reviewing like a quick overview of, kind of what you've been through?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to be I was on several drugs, but heavily addicted to heroin at one point. I was on benzos from the time I was like every single day from about 17 years old till I was 27. I was in and out of rehab centers. I mean, I started by just Loratabs and, snorting pills with my friends when I was young. Actually, my friend's mom was the first person who ever tried to get me to do something, like offered that to me. And it just ended up, I mean, the low of the low. I'm talking about heroin, traveling back and forth, picking up with dealers, that kind of stuff. It was, rough. And then I ended up getting pregnant, and I knew that I was not going to live like that, and kind of changed everything. And thank God for that, because my life has never been better. It was pure misery.
Thank God is right. I struggle, and I mean, I know I've said this to your face. When I initially, first of all, when I met Allie, when I went down to see LFT, and my computer just decided to screw up right there. And you look at her and you think, oh, she's so pretty. She's so pretty on her videos and online. It doesn't do it. And I'm not saying this because she's here. Anybody who asked, you'll know I've talked about her behind her back. Like, she's 10 times more gorgeous in person. She just has this beautiful glow about her. And I remember you were sitting, like, we were at LFTs and you were sitting there, and I was like, I don't see it. Like, I can't see you in active addiction because it's so difficult to picture. And yet I know you were. I've seen the pictures, and you've told the stories and your experiences, but it's just so hard to picture.
Yeah. When
that person is sitting in front of you and they've come full circle and you're like, wow. I mean, it's very inspirational to see.
Oh my God. If you guys would have known me before, I'm glad, like, to hear you say that. It honestly now I've had people tell me things before, like, you don't look like an addict. And it's like, now that's not the thing to say, because addicts look like everybody can be an addict. It does not discriminate. I don't care how much money you make, where you live, where you came from, if you had both your parents in the house, if you didn't, whatever. But, yeah, it's such a different way, the way that you said it there, because the way that I was before, I promise you, one glance and you knew exactly what was going on. You know what I mean? So
it does, Jane, you're right. It doesn't discriminate. And I think that's one of the things that with Alec Murdaugh, I try to keep in mind, that I do believe he was addicted to pills at one point in time. I do not believe he was addicted to the amount that he says. And that's where Allie comes in. LFT, do you have any questions really quick before we?
No, I was actually looking back at my notes I was trying to think of something, but I like the way this is going, so keep just chatting.
It's hard he's a drinker. Okay. I have told you guys, I think when Jen Lou was here, I was on pain medication for about 3 years. I had really bad knees, and before knee surgery, they had put me I was too young to have knee replacement surgery or whatever, and so the only way to keep me sane and vertical was Oxy. And so I was on it for 3 years, every day, twice a day. And then I had the surgery, and after the surgery, I was still on it for a long time. Like, I think I got off in December. I had my surgery in December. I don't actually know. It was like fall, but I was like 8 months, 9 months. I was still on Oxy after my surgery. It's like, okay. And I realized that it was like 4:00 and it was like time to take my Oxy because it was, family coming in and family coming home. I had to get shit done. And that was it helped me get going. And then I would take it at night again at midnight to help me sleep. And so I was using it for 2 different reasons, and it did both for me. Like, it gave me energy and it helped me relax and sleep. But I realized that I started taking it because of the time. Like, it's 4:00 and it's just time. Like, I didn't have any weird, like, oh, I got to take it, or, oh, I need it. But I did get crabby, real crabby. Yeah. When it was the time, admittedly, now looking back, I was like, oh, I know what that is now.
It makes you feel like you can tackle anything, right? So you're
probably really,
yeah.
And I know that if I had a glass of wine with Oxy, I was getting sloppy. Like, I had to be careful when I drank. And Alec is a drinker. So with the amount of pills that claims that he was taking, add alcohol, I don't even, how is he vertical? I don't understand.
Right.
I'm actually not joking. Like, I don't mean to laugh at that, but
not only that, how did people not know? I mean, not know to the extent of it being blatantly obvious and noticeable. Do you know what I mean? Like, not that he was drinking all day, every day, but still, like, the way that he says that he was depending on it, it seemed it was something he did every day, but none of his friends, he didn't falter in terms of cases. Well, I mean, he faltered in terms of cases, but no one would have guessed it because they didn't see a change in him. They had no idea. And I mean, I think some of them, like probably Chris Wilson and a few people maybe knew, like maybe something about the drinking, or that Maggie may have said something to Dana about, the pill stuff, but not to the extent that he was trying to imply. And then it bothers me when I think of people using that. When I look at someone like Alex, who, like the good Alex, that like Allie Erickson, whoa, that is unfortunate. Do not like that his name is. When I look at Allie, your experience and your recovery and your everything regarding your addiction is made, like, you've worked so hard for where you are, and you've worked so hard to become who you are, because you're this amazing, giving, caring, compassionate, human being, and you've worked hard for that, and that means something to you. And I don't like seeing someone like Alec Murdoch turning around and using it as an excuse for something for an action that you did when you haven't. It's like, I don't want to say it like it mocks addiction, but it's like it takes advantage of a very real issue, and that bothered me.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right, and thank you, by the way. Oh, go ahead, Tia.
No, I just think I echo everything she said. First of all, let me just say that Delina's son, if he's listening, Legend, we love you and we love your mom. And thank you for sharing her with us. And welcome home for the weekend, buddy. We're so glad. Give her a hug from us. And welcome to the Decipher family, buddy. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to get off, but I saw Delina's message and I had to acknowledge her. Hi, Wolfie. Thanks for being here, Wolf. Where's her AWO? There it is.
Hey, Wolfie.
It bugs me. Yeah, what you said about using it as an excuse really bugs me because Allie is so passionate about helping other people. Along with her own recovery, she's worried about other people and how it reflects, what she can do to help them. So I guess that just pisses me off the way you said that.
Well, you know what? It reminds me of like Leilani, because it's like you're tying addiction to what she did, but how many people are out there addicted that don't hurt their babies, that don't hurt their family members? So so I see what you guys are saying totally, and thank you for saying that. I want to say though, by the way, the dosage. So I feel like he was probably exaggerating as well, because he feels like the type that's trying to use, like he's trying to get out of what he's done, right? And but you would be surprised how much medicine somebody can take and live. Whenever like I was at my worst, the people I was staying with, her, like one of the people that lived there, she was taking about 100 Roxy 30s every day. 100 every single day. He was selling, I'm talking about, they were going and picking up 1,000 every 2 days, and they were tens of thousands of dollars buried in the yard. And I promise you, she was taking them, she was actually shooting them about 10 at a time, 10 times a day, and including with Xanaxes, she was taking those too, and it was every day. Once you keep building your tolerance, you'd be surprised at what people can handle, because you can handle a lot more than what you would ever imagine. It's crazy.
Now, were you to the point, this is a personal question, but were you to the point where it was maintenance and less about getting the high
absolutely.
feeling? Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know who doesn't get there. That's why it's such misery, because you might get high at first, right, and have a good time, but eventually you just want to feel normal. And your time is either consumed with trying to achieve that, or trying to keep it, or trying to line it up for the next day, and you start to where you can't do normal things without it. Like, oh, I can't go to Christmas dinner if I don't have something. Like, I can't, like, there's no way I can deal with people.
Oh my God. Yes.
Hey,
I do. You just reminded me of that. Like, oh, I have to go to something with my kids' school. Like, I have to.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You just, that was a realization right there. Did you see my eyes? They just, oh shit.
But that's crazy, right? And
I didn't realize it.
That's living in misery. That is complete misery, to be to the point where you cannot, like, it's just every day. You don't think about all the things that you're doing to hurt the people you love. That's what I was telling you guys. Like, you might be doing some really shady shit to achieve your high. Or you might not, or whatever. You might be stealing tons of money and lying and doing all this, but you don't even think about it, because in your head, you're thinking about achieving the fix. You do not want to be sick. You achieve the fix, you get your fix, and then you move on. It's never a thought, how am I affecting my kids? How am I affecting my husband, my wife, whatever? That's after the fact. When you get clean, you got to think about, oh shit, like I was a piece of shit for a long time and hurt a lot of people. But you don't see it at the time.
I think I was, I don't think I was hurting people yet. I think I was probably getting close. I think it was to the point where when I started realizing that I got to vacuum and do laundry and like do all the things. I'm just like, it's running through, like, you just gave me the biggest realization, and I didn't even know that I did that. But when you said that, I was like, oh my God, I did save a half a pill because of something. You know what I mean? Like if I knew there was
Yeah.
something coming up, I was like, oh, I got to save a pill, or I got to save half a pill.
Right. It's so
Oh my
toxic.
God, MK. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh my God. You guys,
MK is so sweet.
the most generous.
Yes.
Honest to goodness. Thank you so much.
Um,
Amelia Sparkle's got one. Yay. I love Amelia.
I love it. It's like catching fish, like when you drop the butt. Like,
Thank you guys. Thank you.
but that actually just reminded me of something else that I wanted to ask in terms, because
Yay, I got one. Sorry. Sorry.
No, that's okay. You earned yours. You can have it. You're good.
Yay.
Gregory Worth got one. Yay. Oh.
Gosh, and Corky.
Join
Okay.
the Zoom meetings. Yes.
That was, I can join the Zoom meeting. Oh, you're funny. Where was I going with this? Okay, wait, we're talking about
I'm
Alex.
sorry.
Okay. No, there was something. How did I ask this yesterday that got it started off? Because I just was like, I don't buy it. Like, I don't know if I like believed. I still don't believe that he was the way he was.
The amount, right?
Yeah, or maybe the amount or the way that he was able to function on it. What he was trying to portray as like being the paranoid and whatnot. I don't truly believe that was how he was functioning, that he was truly like that. Like that he never felt, I think he picked paranoid because it sounded like the right thing to say, or which I don't agree with saying paranoid. I think that was one of the dumbest things he could have said. But Allie, you were the one that got me to think about, though, that it's not, regardless of the word that he used to describe how it makes him or the point that it got into, you're like, but it's the thing, like that's all he can focus on is figuring out how to.
Yeah. It's
like that becomes your way of thinking, like everything you do.
Okay, quick mathematical question. And because I don't know, because I'll be honest with you, my insurance company paid for my pills and I paid 60 cents a month for my pills. That's God's honest truth right there. I paid 60 cents for 60 pills. How much do those go on the street? Like, is it possible to spend $50,000?
Oh my God. Well, okay, let me tell you this.
A week? I don't know.
I mean, I like, if you had a habit like the girl I just told you about, you would be close to it. But however, she wasn't functioning. She was laying around high all day.
Well,
but
okay.
But okay, so an Oxy 80 in West Virginia, I don't know now and this was a couple, years ago, but an Oxy 80 was $100 a piece, and Oxy 30 was around $40 a piece. So they get pretty pricey. Now, I know that you guys were talking about Dilaudid. Those are usually actually a little less expensive than Oxy, and the most like people that use those are usually using a needle, because taking them, like, there's certain ones like that you don't really get as high as you think, like morphine. Oxy makes you so much higher than morphine. You hear morphine and that's such a strong medication, but it's not, Oxy's much stronger like that. Unless you're shooting it up, then you'll get really high from
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow, actually, I didn't know that at all. ATS said there's no way, in my opinion, Alex spent all that money on pills. I couldn't agree more. Where is it? Is it in mason jars? Where is it? Where the hell is that money?
I would not put it past them for some of them to be buried in mason jars or somewhere. I mean, there's some traditions that I don't know, proven to work in the past, but.
Well, let's think about that girl I was just talking about. Even though her boyfriend was the dealer and they were paying like $10 a piece, but if she was paying full price, that would still only be, well, shit, it'd be a couple $1,000s a day, $4,000 a day. But still, in a week, that's only
Jesus.
$30,000, and that's a tolerance I've never seen somebody use like she did. But I've seen close, but that's
Mhm.
still only $28,000 a week.
Damn. I can't.
He wasn't.
I just can't fathom that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. When you put it into numbers and actual like a mathematical figure in front of me, I'm blown away.
It seems
doesn't make
impossible.
sense.
Yeah,
It
it
does.
seems impossible, but it's not. But you know, and then you have people who overdose and die on 2 pills.
Okay.
That's just
That's what I wanted to ask you all. Actually, sorry, Allie, I didn't mean to interrupt.
that's
Keep
okay.
going.
No, I'm done.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no, I was going to ask, like, I mean, I wonder about with the fentanyl stuff. Like, I really don't think whatever else is taking is he's getting like doing it script wise. I mean, I'm going to assume he's paying for or moving things that aren't. He's not going to run the risk of if he takes it himself. It's not going to be, you know, black market lace something. So how
Right.
didn't they say that they did the math? I think someone that we were just listening to, or maybe it was the one they did yesterday, but they were saying there's not enough doctors, like legit, to write the script.
Yes. The amount of pills that he was taking.
Pills that it was taking, there weren't enough. It didn't match up. Like it didn't match up to the
manufacturing wise. You couldn't manufacture that many pills in that area, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were just, and so that's what they said. They were like, and they don't, I think they agreed to, they don't see him risking because they've been using the Narcan on him all the time. Like, I mean, they would be, fentanyl would be showing up everywhere. And so he didn't think that whatever he was potentially involved with and moving was not some sort of, it was all kind of like, I don't know, top shelf, quote unquote, if you will.
Yeah.
And I think it was, I mean, I don't know though.
He probably had pharmacist buddies. I mean, we're talking about a man with money and more power than your average person.
Mm-hmm.
When I was using, fentanyl was not, I'll tell you what, right before I got clean, like it started to show up a little bit in heroin. And the reason that you could tell was because like people would get mad because real heroin will last like 12 hours and fentanyl will last like an hour or two. It doesn't last very long.
Mm-hmm.
But people started falling out like that were, you know, able to handle usually their dose falling out. And that's when it kind of started showing up. But I got clean. So I luckily don't really know too much about it.
I mean, it frightens me that anyone could take, you know, just, I don't know, to each his own. I'm not judged, you know what I mean? Just someone innocent though, like in high school when it could be something, and I don't want to say, there's no nice way around it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like people that aren't just, your son is at a high school party and someone slipped something in his drink and they thought it was just a regular, you know, I don't know, you know, just pain pill or something, but say it was laced with something and you had no idea. And it's just that one time. And that's what scares me.
Wait, but I just seen a mother on TV who both of her sons died from fentanyl. You know, did you see that? And
well, I saw it last night, I think. Last night.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it's just crazy. And these are kids that are like not like skipping school and using drugs. These are like athletes who go to a party and get high, like go to take a pill once or something. That is terrifying.
Yep. Yes, I was watching the News Nation. I think that's where I saw it. It was the mom. She was being interviewed.
Yes, it's on there.
My daughter's boyfriend, his cousin, just OD'd on fentanyl, and it was an accidental overdose. And great kid, and same thing. You know, just didn't know. Yeah. It was a girl, yeah. She just went to the funeral last weekend. Was the funeral. It's really tragic. And his family, I mean, he was very close with her. They're very similar ages. She's 22, 21, 22, something like that. 23 maybe. Young, very young. But just, you know, did what so many kids do and just tried it. and just, it was something bad. It was something bad. Hi, Melissa. Welcome. And I'm just terrified. I'm absolutely terrified not just my kids. I'm obviously terrified for my kids. But all the kids out there who are like naive to this. And Jesus, when I was a kid, back when we had wooden teeth and wagons, covered wagons, we didn't have to worry. Like, I know my mom said the same thing. We didn't have to worry about this. And we didn't. It was like pot and Coke. Heroin wasn't even a thing. Like, nobody I know did that. Pot and Coke all the damn time. Pills weren't even like a thing. And now it's like, that's just so nothing compared to what people are doing now. It's frightening. It's frightening. And I guess my point of doing this is not just to talk about Allie and her story, but I think like LFT said, like, I don't want Alec Murdaugh to get away with using this as an excuse for bad behavior, because so many people work so damn hard, Allie Erickson, to improve her life, her children's life, her family, her friends. She's so supportive of everyone else. And then here's this douche canoe out there going, well, it's because my paranoia. That's my paranoia. I was paranoid. Well, you know what? Ass hat, if you maybe didn't do bad things, you wouldn't have to be paranoid.
That's not the
paranoid.
No, and it blows my mind that but again, I have to be reminded, I don't think we're talking about someone who's irrational. Like, in their own head, they think they're rational, but they are not a rational person. And so I was like, you got to be kidding me. You used paranoid for when you stumbled upon your wife and child, like, tragically, horrifically gunned down on your property. That made you paranoid. That didn't scare the hell out of you, make you sad, nothing. Okay, that makes you paranoid. Earlier in the day, that your finances are already in a mess, and got to keep moving. Boat case is in 3 days. And someone confronts you, the CFO, by the way, asking you about checks, and no paranoia kicks in there.
Right. Your paranoia is very choosy.
I would have been paranoid as hell in the office and scared and sad as hell out at the kennels. You got to be kidding me.
You guys, Melissa's comment, before you came in, Melissa, I had said that with Leilani, it's the same kind of thing, because she was using. You often see it tied together. But this is the problem, you guys, and it's like, even being an addict, I have to be honest. When we're using, we do display different behavior that we wouldn't usually, and it's typically not good. There's a lot of dishonesty and stuff like that. So that is why it's so easy to kind of push, you know what I mean? Because you're already acting like an asshole. That's just the truth. So people who don't get it, they see that, and you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Yeah, and I think that it's I do think it's a problem, though, because like I said, look how many addicts out here never hurt their children, never kill anybody, never do anything. However, a lot of times when we see these little babies go missing, or these abuse cases, or a lot of times drugs are involved, and that's the part that you can't ignore either.
And do you think drug use gives you less? I mean, I know the answer to this already, but I'm just going to ask it. Less self-awareness. Like, you're like, oh, I don't care. It's fine. Whatever.
Absolutely.
You're just going to take a pill or do whatever it is you do.
You just don't even worry about a lot of stuff like that. And you're not self-aware at all. That comes with the recovery process of like taking your own inventory and kind of looking at yourself and your own behaviors and how you affect other people. And that's a really important step that I think that, even people who aren't addicts could really benefit from some of the things with like the 12 steps like that right there. Yeah. Taking your own inventory, not taking everybody else's, but making sure to take your own.
Oh my God. That's something. Hold, please. I need to write that down, because I love that. Taking your own inventory. Just
true. Yeah.
Being aware.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
addiction can be so much more than just a drug, and
Mhm.
but you just have to be mindful enough to take. Yeah, to
I think
take stock.
YouTube is a drug. I think YouTube is an addiction. I think
Oh
addiction
yeah.
can fall under anything. I mean, I think there's many
Addiction.
people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I think he was addicted to. He was addicted to the money, the power. Mine keeps.
Where'd
You
she
know what?
go?
I'm gonna sign out and come back in because mine keeps like.
Okay.
It's
Because I was like,
black
where'd she
on
go?
my
You
side.
were
I'll
making
be right
such a
back.
great point.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
sorry.
Oh,
that.
Let me see if I'm gonna sign out and see if that helps. No,
okay.
it's mine, Allie. This time it isn't yours. I can promise you. Okay.
I was going to ask Jen Lou if she's still here, if she wants to pop in, if she has anything to say. Jen, I dropped the link for you if you're at all interested, but don't feel obligated. You're welcome if you'd like, but you don't have
And
to.
I want to get down so that you can let other people come up, but I want to ask you first before I go. So when he left, he went straight to state prison, you said, but before
He
that, was
did.
he out on bond?
No, he's been under arrest for a while. He's been in jail for a year. He's been in jail for about a year.
And then
So go ahead. What's your next
I'm
question? I
sorry.
missed you.
We have a little bit of a delay. I was just gonna say, so I saw somewhere like that he was going to some program for like, is that true? Is he going, or what's happening with him now? And then yeah, just what's happening with him now.
So right now he's at Kirkland Correctional Facility or institution, whatever you want to call it. It's the worst of the worst. It's where everybody goes. If you're a male over the age of 19 and you're serving more than 91 days in prison, you have to go through this program. And it's where they classify you. It's where they, you get your mental health, your physical health, your education, all that tested. And then they decide from there where you're going to place you. And it's only one of 7 prisons, Kirkland being one of them. They're all horrible. They're all maximum security. He is under the S watch right now. So he's wearing paper clothing and hanging out alone, but he will be put in Gen Pop probably after the 45 days. They may throw him in earlier if he, passes all the tests and things like that. But for at least 2 weeks, he'll be alone. For at least 2 weeks, he will be all by himself. And then he'll just be amongst the rest of the people for 45, if they so desire. I mean, I don't know how that works exactly, but he will then be transferred to either that prison general population or another prison general population, and he will become one of the dudes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, ward of the state now, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, you're on the other side of the law. Like, that's got to be scary as hell. And I don't care how tall you are. He's not a fighter.
No.
Sorry. I'm laughing out loud.
And also like people with money, a lot of times they're used to getting out of things in life and getting away with things, and you know what I mean.
I
Especially
watched
white powerful men. So
You betcha. And I watched today Surviving the Survivor. You guys got to go check that channel out. It's really good. They're talking about Murdoch stuff. But today LFT and I watched that, and they said what men like him do is they will befriend the biggest and the baddest in the prison, and his family will contact that family and get money on that guy's books and keep him well fed and happy so that he will then protect Alec.
That makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, does he have access to his money?
No. Mm-mm.
So he has no one putting money on his books, nothing.
Well, he's got people to do it. He's got his brothers to do it, his sister, Buster, his son, if they so decide. But I mean, he doesn't have any. No, he got no bank card. He's got a whole lot of nothing.
Gregory said, imagine going to a prison that likely your family or you personally put some of those inmates in there. Now, I don't know what kind of lawyer he was, but that's scary. That's very
He was a personal injury lawyer. He only tried 2 cases where he was prosecuting. And oddly enough, he was prosecuting the gang that he is supposed to be working with and buying his drugs from.
The Cowboys. Both the 2 cases that he stepped in to help prosecute involved the gang. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a group text called, what was it? The Tombstone?
The Tombstone.
You know, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the movie that was obviously the cowboy. You know, like I said, this guy, if you can, please go watch that. Hang on a second. What is Mark Klein talking about?
I'm not sure. I just saw it.
I'm confused. Why are we saying TCA? Especially in this chat. No offense.
Hey, Mark. I like Mark, but
I know I like Mark, but I'm like, what?
I was looking too in the chat. I'm not sure.
I'm confused. Tell me more. Sorry about that.
Probably
That
accident.
threw me back. Sorry. What were you saying, LFT?
I don't even.
That threw you too. Mark, sorry, just woke up. Okay. Mark, we adore you, Mark. I was just very confused, and I was like, why are you saying that in here? I don't know what you're saying to me. Welcome in. And good morning.
Wake up. Rise and shine. All right, you guys. I'm gonna jump in chat. So if anybody else wants to come up and all
Thanks,
that, thank you
Allie. We really appreciate you sharing with
Allie.
us.
Oh, you're
Does
so
anyone
welcome.
have any questions that they want to? Wolfie made me do it. Don't blame the wolf. Don't you blame my wolf. I love my wolf. So we did learn some details about his current living situation, and let's just take a moment to pause and think about what his last night must have been like. Thanks, Melissa. Thank you very much. That's really kind of you. You guys, if you want any coverage,
sorry.
Oh, how come?
Because my computer, I'm trying to clean it up, like did the little virus scan thing to make sure it wasn't working well.
Your computer has VD?
I don't know. It just y'all kept going to little circles, and then I was just talking over people, so I just got on the phone.
It's okay.
My computer thinks
It's
about
okay.
what it's doing.
You think about your behavior, computer. Your computer is kind of like bitchbot whenever it wants to go.
Oh, it is. We may be breaking up after tonight. I might be completely.
You and your computer? Oh my gracious. This has been a long-term relationship.
I know.
Yeah,
crazy.
So
what did I miss? Because I didn't hear that whole last thing. It said Allie had to go. It said Allie was going to.
Yeah, no, we were just. I thought they said when he went to his mom's to lay down with her that night that the small time he knew he would have been his last night seeing her. Oh, what I was going to talk about is imagine what his first night in prison must have been like last night. Like, I remember Watts saying like how they yelled at him and how they said horrible things to him all night and how, like it was just such a terror, the guards came and bugged him and it was just terrible. And yeah, you do, Wolfie. You really do. That's my paranoia. My hackles go up when you do that. I'm always like, wait, what is the wolf seeing?
Princess Megan Elsa, I could probably get I wish I did. The iPad's all the way over there. I can see it, but it would require me getting up. But it would probably make it a lot easier so I could follow the chat instead of having to click back and forth like via StreamYard on your phone.
Hi, Shifty Fishy. Welcome in. How are you? It's nice to see you. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for swimming in.
Mhm.
Fish. She's my favorite fish.
Fish. No, I don't. I told you I'm torn on what I think about him last night because I can. When he left the courtroom, there was one moment. I guess it may have been a different angle. I don't know, or good editing. Like when he was delivering the sentence, kind of thing. That like
Yeah.
that gulp of like where I really thought he was gonna break. Like you could tell his
The
eyes
drag gulp.
squinted. Like
Uh-huh.
yeah, like and it was like that fighting the like he. I thought he was gonna collapse or cry or just start like weeping. But then I think I think that I think he fought that and went back into like I'm gonna get a planning mode. Like I'm in go to stick to myself. I'm not staying here. Like I'm like that fight mode of just prepping and staying in the game. And I think he's just as you know
Mm-hmm.
like I said, too much of a cock not to crow. I mean he just
Well,
he's
I told you I waited because there were a couple minutes in there during the
mm,
trial that I just wanted him to stand up and go, it was me. I did it.
mm-hmm.
And I kept like, I don't know if anybody else did. But I literally would watch my TV like, come on, you can do that. Like, this is your chance. This is your shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole 8 Mile, lose yourself. Like you got one shot, do it. Like this is it. You can do it right now. And I kept like kind of hoping that he would stand up and say, yeah, you know what? I did it. I did it. I fucked up, but I
Or
did it.
at least stand up and give some sort of decent explanation. I don't
Nothing.
like do, but that's what kills me, Tia, is that he's willing to. I mean, everyone pointed out I mean, so easily.
Mhm.
It's Jeannie. No, Jeannie was wrong. No, Shelley was wrong. No, Mike Bell is wrong. No, Buster. No, oh my gosh, Rogan, he must have been like, it is everyone's fault, but nothing that you did. And he couldn't even at this point in it, even going to trial to deal with this, he still couldn't stand up and even admit one thing. Protecting himself or whatever this is that he created is still more important than Maggie and Paul and Buster. And that makes him even more of a wank in my book. That's like with the drug stuff, because I do think
Mhm.
there's a chance that some of this is um, not saying that that had anything to do with them being unalived, like Maggie and Paul, by
Mhm.
anyone other than Alec in terms of when I say drug stuff. I'm wondering, like, that it, I would assume he, was more involved in in the drug world than I think maybe we realize. But you're still too much of a shit to even admit, even to cop to something to be like, if this will help figure out who did it, especially if you're innocent. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right.
hey, okay, I can tell y'all I've done something. Like, you gradually kind of start admitting little things, but doing it in a way because you're doing it for the best interest of, because you know you are innocent and you want to find who harmed your wife and child. That's why you do it. And he's never even attempted. And I don't understand that. And his actions don't do anything to make me even want to hear him out or try to understand it anymore because
I agree.
I won't believe him.
Well, and I also think JB is right. He never brought up finding who did it. Like, hello, OJ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, OJ's killer must be on the golf course because that's where his ass was right after. I mean, not that Alec will be on any golf courses or anything like that, but okay, it just pisses me off that there's no during sentencing. He stood up and he said, "I did not kill my wife and my wife
No,
Mags and my
he
son
didn't say kill.
Popo."
He didn't, did y'all, he never said, did you notice? He never said kill
Actually,
wait, was
no,
it
I
murder?
didn't till you just said that. Yes, till you just said that. So thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um, but whatever. Okay, so whatever verbiage he used, I'm sorry, I messed that up.
Mm-hmm.
He did not like. It was like you are standing in your prison garb. You are
Mm-hmm.
done. The rest of your life, you are so
Yeah, Jen Lu's right. He said hurt. I knew.
Hurt.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you,
not.
Jen Lo. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're so screwed. And I'm really trying to watch my mouth, you guys. I'm trying, but I'm having a really fucking hard time. No. It just it pisses me off. And then to this day, like he's still, like I said, I longed for the moment where he would say, you know what, stop the process. I did this. Let's just go to sentencing.
Or Tio, it's kind of like what you and I watched earlier. What they said too was someone, the Amy girl said, even if it's like I got involved with horrible people, I screwed so many people over, who knows, like, or I got involved with the drug world, I did all this stuff, and somehow, like, you kind of admit that you've brought this storm onto yourself, and you admit that, but you scream still, but I did not kill my wife, and I did not kill my son. I did a lot of stuff, and I fear they are paying the consequences for something I've done in my mistakes. That is on me. But I did not. This was no, and you can't, because it's not authentic. Because you can't do that because it didn't happen.
And K-Braze is right. A lot of cases are like that. But he has seen, if you don't ask the right questions, you don't have to give the right answers. And that's the tricky part of the law. And I agree with you. That's where the law works against itself in some ways, with some of the rights. And while I'm for that, I'm also like accountability as a human being, which, I know this guy, I'm wishing, it's too much to ask for. He's a psychopath who, and I know people are going to be like, no, he's not, but he really is a horrible human being. And the things he's done leading up to the night of June 7th, the things that he did leading up to it were horrific.
It's nauseating.
Absolutely
is what it is.
It was horrific. But to also then continue and harm your wife, I'm like, what the actual and then you're like, huh? You're just gonna sit there, huh? You're just gonna sit there. You're just gonna sit there and you're gonna lie. You're gonna lie to everybody. And I'm gonna tell you, we watched that juror last night. I loved him. I'd kiss him right on the cheek. I'd be like, come here, Mr. Sir. I need to kiss you right on your cheek because you were dead on. He sat right next to that guy. He sat right next to him, and he didn't see tier 1. He didn't see emotion 1. And I thought that was so cool that he was like, you know what? I'm not having it. And a lot of people are having a problem with how the jury deliberation went. I get that. I understand it and I respect you. But in all fairness, Jim Griffin did not give a very good closing argument. I think he was hung out on purpose. I truly do. I think he was hung out on purpose. I think they made him the sacrificial lamb on this whole thing. So Poot could be like, wasn't my fault. Wasn't me. That was all Jim.
Well, that and what Tim, what's his name, said, who said the Florida attorney that's on that, Tim, whatever he said. He just said, oh my gosh, where the heck did the thought just go?
That's so twice. Sorry. Like, no more. I'm teasing you. Are you okay? Were you reading chat? Is that what you were doing?
No, I literally thought I was thinking of like I
thought I was thinking.
I thought I was thinking, and I'm pretty sure, to be quite honest, that I interrupted you, but it was something about I know what it is. It is good. I can't take credit for it, but I heard someone else say, don't think for a moment that Alec at some point, because we keep talking about his appeals, and I'm sure he is. I have other thoughts on that, but another factor that we need to consider is the funding for how he's going to afford all this. Do not think at some point, and I do have to agree, he is going to start representing himself, and he will blame ineffective counsel. And I do think it will be the first one he's going to go to, is that he would have an issue with, and that he'll throw under
A
the
bus
bus,
bus?
under the bus, quite
Under the bus
frankly, just like
bus?
to do something that he thinks is benefiting himself. He will do it. He'll throw. My guess would go Griffin before Harpoolian, and then
Hmm.
and he's not going to care that he did it at all. That they did everything that they could, because I do believe, for some odd reason, Jim Griffin, or I understand why some of us like still believe Alec, because we don't know him and we're going just off of this, but this man is a friend, and not only is he a friend to Alex, they have a lot of mutual friends, and he's hearing the same information and everything too, and he's hearing them admit what their mutual friend Alec has done to them, what the firm, all this. Alec tells them himself, but he still, for some reason, he believes. I think he believes Alec truly didn't do this, and I think Alec will, in some way, shape, or form, screw him over when things get tight, or he needs to make a quick move, or anything to benefit
Well,
himself.
tell what we discovered today about him per se. He's gonna
Mm.
run out of that money. He's gonna be representing himself.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Per se. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that he is going to start.
he's gonna have
Hmm.
to.
Hmm.
He's gonna have to.
But
And
he'll
that's gonna
do
be
it in a way.
amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. But can't you, like, for him to even want to do that, he has to get rid of his current attorneys, right? If I'm not mistaken, like, you're either like, thanks, we're done,
Hmm.
or you go to court and then I'm going to go to court and say, and then give my version. Like, that he would sever that relationship before representing himself.
Right.
And the way that he's going to sever that uh, relationship, or representation, is by somehow crapping all over Jim Griffin, is going to be my guess. Anything that paints him in a piss poor light and paints Alec in a better picture, he's still going to do it. And my whole point is, this is a guy who clearly has given a ton to this case, to the well-being of Alec and the family, and Alec will screw him over too. He will not care.
Hot coffee, I agree. I think it'll be fun to watch. Like horribly fun.
Maybe he
But
would.
I kind
Do
of
you
like
think he
that.
would object to himself?
I hope so.
I mean, they already. I mean, co-counsel already objected to their own
They
co-counsel.
really
Like,
did that, right? Is that
yeah,
that
that really happened. That was objection, and everyone was
objection?
like, "What?"
Like Poot objected to his
To Griffin.
like if I just objected to you right there, like objection, Your Honor, and you'd be like, dude, the fuck, we're on the same team.
Hmm. I mean, I'm surprised that what the other attorney said too, that at one point, just because how much they know about Alec now, and I guess that is, we have to keep in mind that small town, that southern part of the low country in South Carolina, is a small community, and so they all know one another. And I think the impression from the attorneys in the legal field and law enforcement are just like pit so mad because of what it's done to their profession, like what he
Mm-hmm.
represents, and the stain that it's left on them, and they are just, ugh, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not over. The Murdochs still exist. They're still going to have power in some way. I do agree with that. I mean, I think Alec needs to be held responsible for.
I just had hoped. Like I said, there was that moment where I'm like, do you have any human decency? No, you do not. You absolutely do not. And you're going to go down in the fiery pits of hell for anything and everything you did. I'm trying to switch accounts really quick.
And he did it too on his own. Do you realize that? Like, I think everyone
Yes,
can agree,
ma'am.
the start of that trial, like prosecution, like it was convoluted, and there was a lot of like, oh my God, why are we talking? This is so boring. All this, like, it it started off pretty slow, and by no means, I don't think any of us have ever felt as though it would be a slam dunk. But
once they kept pushing their point, and I understood what they were doing now, and I understand it certainly better, even today, but Alex screwed himself over. They didn't have to do anything. They watched him, they narrowed him down. He got caught up in his own words and his own lies, and he had no explanations. He couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was when that juror said, like, he never answered a question, because I literally was like, oh my God, the jury is going to buy all this crap. I cannot believe this. And I like that. That gave me a little, little boost of confidence when I heard that guy say, like, I mean, we never got a direct answer. There was never.
I don't know. I just, here, K-Braze, I'm going to make your life easy. Although, please don't take this. Hold on. I'm going to take your wrench, but not because I don't love you and adore you. It's just because I don't want to stress you. I just want you to relax. But you're still a mod for our channel.
Yeah.
In our hearts and in our soul. But I just want you to relax and not worry about it. And until we can explain it properly to you, and I haven't had that opportunity, I'm just going to take it for now. And that way you can just chill and relax. But we adore you, and we just wanted to have you with us. That's all. No big deal. But I'll give it back if you want it, because I don't care. And I wanted to say hi to Princess Megan Elsa, because that is just a fun name, like 5, 6, 7, 8. It makes I get excited when I get to see these names. It's so fun. I don't have my glasses on, and I was trying to read this. Let's try and see if we can see this.
I'm trying to see. I just had to move my phone close to me. Hilarious too. Oh, I saw something you said too earlier that was really good. I'm sorry, I can't scroll up farther.
Actually, who else I've been reading the comments. I mean, everyone's comments I've been reading. Mm-hmm. MK is one of my favorites, but Mark Klein has been making some excellent points in here as well. And it's just, I agree with some of his comments that he's been making. It's really cool. Like, if anybody, like I said before, if you guys want to come up and if you have anything to say about the case, this is not going to be like Watts for Us. We're not going to be harping on this horse. We are going to move on to something else. But for the rest of the weekend, we're going to talk about Murdoch, and you're going to deal with it, or you're not going to watch us.
You're going to also deal with it, like you.
Me,
not
I know.
So much chat, but like I'm still looking at some of the things.
I mean, I'm still interested in Stephen Smith. I'm still interested in Gloria Satterfield. I'm still interested in these other people that have been affected. I want to know where the money is.
I want to know where the money is.
So do I, but I don't think we're going to find out. Do you? Do you really think you're going to find out? Honestly, I hope we do. That'd be awesome.
I think, didn't they allude to, like, FBI has called on, like, they know more now? They can't tell us yet.
Well, dangle that carrot in front of my face. I hate that. That's rude.
Well,
just tell me
the same carrot I got. That's the same carrot I got dangled. So deal with it.
I hate it.
I know. Listen.
That's what my husband
dibble dabble. Listen, dibble dabble.
Dookie shoes. Hi, Aussie. Welcome.
Drifter.
You like no responsibility? Oh, all right. Well, that's cool, but know that you're, you say something if you ever want one, because you're special to us.
You still got a lot of responsibility in that chat. Don't worry.
Yeah, you do. You got lots of comments to make. Hi, William. Yeah. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. And Sherry, I didn't say hi to you, and I saw you come in, and I didn't want to interrupt Allie when she was speaking, but thank you for being here. I bet Buster or his brothers knew it.
Hey, Aussie True Crime too.
I would think so, right? Like, I would think so.
I can't decide. I don't know what I think about. I don't know what I think about Buster right this second. In terms of, like, I mean, I do care about him and his situation right now, but I have not really thought hard about how much he knows, about how much he may or may not know.
Buster's he's more financially stable than probably most of us in this chat. So I'm sorry that he has had the tragedy surrounding him. Truly sorry. Like, no one, I don't care how much money or how little money you have, no human should go through that. I promise you, I feel that way. But also, I'm like, dude, set up. Like,
Well, guess what?
Get a job, my friend. Go get a job and make something good of yourself. Don't use your last name.
The Moselle property is set. They hope now to finalize it to be finalized March 8th.
That fast, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Murdoch trial detox. That's what this is. Yes. MK, it's exactly what it is. It's trial detox. It was a lot. Like, as a person, and I mean, I told you guys this last night, but I'm empathic. So when I watched him on the stand, or not on the stand, excuse me, being sentenced, first of all, when the verdict was being read, I told you that I thought that it was just pure darkness over him. Like, he was just a dark, evil man. And then when he stood up at sentencing, I was like, oh no. Like, any human compassion that I had for him went away right then. And I stopped feeling bad for him. I don't feel bad for him. I'm very, like, to those who do, God bless, you have more empathy than I. You're a better person than I. Maggie could be a shit person. Paul could be a shit person. Neither deserved what happened to them. And especially from that man who they trusted wholeheartedly, and as a parent, fucking pisses me off, man. It really, like, I get fired up. You feel the same way, Hot Coffee? Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of empathy for him, and he pulls those shoulders in and he puts that sad face on and he blows the snot out of his nose. And he's just little Alec. And I'm like, fuck off, dude. You're ripping people off and you're killing people.
I do.
Get a new PR firm.
I feel bad. I do. Because I'm a human and I'm still whatever. Yes, I do feel bad for my time. No, but what happens to me is I go back to the thing, like, just like right when we heard the verdict, like when we were talking with TT and Jen Lou that night, and I asked that question. The fact that everyone answered, that's what I keep in mind, because remember, how do you think Alec Murdoch would respond? How do you think Alec Murdoch would have responded to the question if he had been asked, Mr. Murdoch, is it not true that if it was not for your son's video, you would still be claiming that you were never at those kennels that night? Is that not true?
It is true.
And that is true. He would, and the fact that he would, even knowing that damn thing exists now, like, even knowing, there's not even rumor that a video exists. We know there's videos. And that, unless put on a stand, you know damn well the answer to that question was going to be no. He never was going to come clean. He would still to this day be telling his family, his friends, everyone, I was never at the kennels that night. I filmed him there the first time, and he can give no reason. And they have not.
I'm innocent.
There's nothing pointing to a rational, plausible, probable second option. The defense couldn't even they could put up the two shooters, but they couldn't even narrow it down enough because they're working with fluff that Alec gave them. It's not there. He did it. I just go back to that. He did it. Like, he lied. He would, and to this day, he would still be saying he was not at those kennels if Paul's video did not exist. He would still be saying
Master of word salad. That's so true. Shay Benet, I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm so glad he couldn't get in. Imagine if he could, we wouldn't be here. We'd be in a completely different position. I'm not sure.
And Mark Klein, I agree. I think the jury, I think they didn't have to, like, I do think they looked at the stuff, but I think that's what they were saying, that sometimes maybe this time taking notes, they knew what stood out to them. And the closing certainly didn't help, but they didn't need, I think it was fresh and they discussed it. Like they knew what stood out to them and what was important to them based off of the evidence that they have sat in that trial and heard for the last 6 weeks.
Well, and what did that juror say? He's a liar and not a good one. He wasn't convincing to the jury. And well, they weren't offered. That's very true. And I think that's a really interesting point is they were offered no other suspect to consider. So deliberation was quicker. Who else was there? Well, the other two were deceased.
Yep. And
3 guys walk into a bar and only 1 leaves. What happened?
Yep.
Like,
in the defense, it brought up the maybe a possibility of 2 shooters in approximate heights, but they couldn't even follow up with. They couldn't even bring cousin Eddie into it hard enough because it wouldn't have worked in their favor. They could have still brought cousin Eddie up. There's a reason they didn't.
Okay, and here's my friend the Rockaways coming in clutch. That's pretty impressive, by the way. The Rockaways, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It takes about 3 hours to watch a Netflix documentary, and that's how much time it took the jury to deliberate. Didn't even take that long because they had already voted. They were like, "Yeah, we're almost there. We just need to convince these last 2." And I mean, I don't know what kind of convincing it took, but it didn't take much. Either those people are weak in nature or the evidence was there. I don't have any other options for that.
Grumpy Cat, you're right about that in terms of the Snapchat video of Alec in the messing with the tree, but not the video because the video
the
at the
Rogan
kennels
Gibson
wasn't a Snapchat. That was actually video, like recording it on his phone.
That was the one.
It was never sent. And it was never sent.
Thank a dog named Baba and a murder victim named Paul. Without that video, I don't think he'd be convicted. William, I think that's true. I think that's very true.
He wouldn't even be on trial.
No, and you know what? The phrase "the Lord works in mysterious ways" comes to mind, and I'm really not kidding. Like that's how I feel. Like I kind of feel that was divine intervention right there. And it doesn't happen in every case, but when it does, I'm like, oh, thank you. It restores my faith just again to know that you have to do the right thing because somewhere out there, there's, somebody asked you a question and lawyers were talking about this. And I wish, let me be careful what I say here, but because if I ask you a question, it's probably like if I'm angry at someone, and my husband will attest to this, God bless him. But if I'm angry and I ask you a question, it's probably because I know the answer already or I have the proof. So otherwise, I'm probably not going to fight. I'm going to just say, nah, you're right, because I'm of the opinion that if you're asking, you probably already know. So I might as well just tell the truth. You're the same. Yeah, and Wolfie, you knew where I was going. Love my wolf. I love my wolf. Hey, Risk, I saw your girlfriend today online. I thought about you. There was a really cute picture of her, and I was like, oh, there's Risk's girlfriend. But if I'm asking, I already have you. And I think that's the way that lawyers look at Alec when they asked some of the questions were like, go ahead, answer. Because we got you. And he thought he was the smartest guy in the room. And that I'm never, look at me, look who my company is. Like, look at the company I keep. I'm never the smartest person in the room ever. I surround myself with people who are smarter. Always. But I always back up what I say too. Like I always have the proof. And I think, much like these people, the lawyers and such, they had the proof. I did. I really did. I thought of you when I saw her. I promise you. I know you love her. He's like, I love her. Oh, our mods are the best here. Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate all your thoughts and things you're saying too. You've just been amazing. I think the jurors were done when he first lied to them. Yeah, I do too. And when you, like I said, as a person who, I think it's obvious. I'm a cut to the chase. I'm a no baloney kind of girl. Just, if you have a problem, just state your problem. Let's work it out or not. You know what I mean? Just forget about it. But if I'm asking a question,
run.
I probably already know the answer because I've already done my home. Like I'm a girl who does her homework. So does LFT. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, she's that way. Sorry. We do our homework. So we're just a small little true crime channel. Imagine what these lawyers, the work that they put in and the facts that they have that we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like we don't even know the things that came out. What does Wolfie said? She said, ask and you lie because you know. Right. That's how I feel. Like that's exactly right. You done. I couldn't agree more. How
many oh my gosh. I have to tell you one thing. Squirrel for a minute. When you just said like implying that I was smart. I hope you know I was muted because I just about choked on a Cheerio. And I just like this literally while I'm still coughing. And now it's like the irony of your timing of saying that. I was like, if I was on video right now, we would have made $1 million. Like that, people would be like, look at those two fools. Like this girl thinks that's the smart one. Look at her.
Not to eat on stream. Do we not just talk about this?
Yeah, but it was literally like one. It was like one I found still sitting on the table for my little cup of snacks, and it was just sitting there, and I just popped around. I know, like we've been talking about this, but I literally, I'm sitting here in the chair, my legs are under my butt, like and I looked and I saw one sitting right here, and I just wanted to eat a Cheerio, Tia, and I ate that one.
Yeah, we'll get you every time. It was, you know what? It was the last Cheerio. Don't do it again.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry I couldn't say very much, but yeah. And then I was like, oh, get some water. And then I was kind of trying to swallow. Yeah, then I was trying to swallow my water, but then I'm laughing at how funny it was and the irony of what you were saying and what was happening to me. So then I'm laughing at myself.
She's gonna be so mad. She knows I'm eating. First of all, were you eating? Were you eating?
I told you. I'll say. I admit it. I ate a Cheerio because, and I'll tell you again. Let me tell you why, Miss Tia Dash. I ate it because I like Cheerios a lot. And it was just sitting here. And I was like, something I like, I'm going to eat it.
Let me tell you, Miss Tia Dash, I just love that.
And that's my reason. I don't even know if it counts as an excuse because it's not an excuse. It's literally what happened. And
because I said so.
And that's how I would testify on stand. Are you like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. But you want to know why I did it? Because I love Cheerios.
Do you think they'd? No, I don't. I don't think he has the cojones to do it. I really don't.
What?
I don't think he's got the cojones to take anybody out in the joint. I don't think he does.
No, I think. What did that guy say? They guess
Wolfie,
he's going to buddy
we've
up
already
to-
talked, and I don't care if you eat on the phone. You can't eat on a live. Sorry. Eat on the phone with me all day long.
yeah. And Sal, though this isn't the first time that we've even talked about this today, for that matter. So I knew I shouldn't be doing it, but again, I really love Cheerios, and these that Allie got me are so yummy. These strawberry, have y'all tried strawberry banana puree ones?
No.
Well, as I just reached for the back, Tia, they're two in my hand. Make me put them down. Can't eat them right now.
Stop it.
Drop it back in the bag. Yes.
Look at it.
But anyway, so Murdoch.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be getting anybody's Cheerios. I think he will, whatever that guy said, his best option would be kind of figure out who's who and what's what wherever he goes, and getting the family to immediately figure out how to put the money in that person's, like, you.
Yeah, look at Dave Mason just wrote here. By the way, Dave from Australia, I love my Aussie so much. Oh my gosh, I love my Aussie friends.
Hi, Corky.
Oh, good night, Corky. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Is she here?
Are they special Cheerios like edibles? Wolfie, no. Well, I saw. Yeah, I think she is.
5, 6, 7, 8. I love it. I do it every time. I can't. It's my favorite. It's just that.
They're
my
regular
very
Cheerios.
my
But the
very
edible
favorite
Cheerios.
name
What?
for YouTube will always, I mean, hands down. And I can't, like, I love all of you guys, but I swear to God, you should have gone to the game, Chris. That name flattened me the first time I saw it, and every time. Judy,
Judy
holy
Jackson, that's so
mackerel,
nice.
thank you. Oh, that's so
nice.
kind.
Thank you so much.
Girl loves her damn Cheerios.
I really do. I'm telling y'all, it's like a toddler. It's been my entire life ever since we started eating Cheerios. Like, yeah, I still
It's so kind.
like you'll find them on the floor, like in my car. You'll step on one sporadically in the house. It just
a beautiful car, beautiful house. Yeah, you just every once in a while you see a random Cheerio lying around.
Every once in a while, you'll wake up with one in the bed with you. I said Tia, so Tia falls asleep and leaves like an earbud, like wrapped in the sheets.
I fall asleep in my earbuds every single night, and every night I find one ear because I only listen to one. I only need one. And I find it in my bed the next morning and I charge it, right? Well, I left one at LFT's and I was like, oh my God.
She was
I
like,
don't have my ear.
Oh my God. So I had to go find it. And then, so I did. And by the way, it really was like, because I don't know, I walked into the bedroom she was staying in and I just did the sheets back and I was like, yeah, there it is. And then the next day I got out of my bed and I sent her a picture of what was in mine, and it was a Cheerio.
It was a Cheerio. She did not have an earbud in her bed. She had
it was a Cheerio.
Yeah. Risk wants Cheerios now. just pop it in your mouth and go back to sleep. I'm Wolfie. You're just the damn best.
I just really love Cheerios. And that's why I used to call them Cheerios.
Cheerios. Like chicken. It's a chicken.
The chicken.
Hey, tattoos. What's up? Honey Crunch. I know. Those are my jam. All right. So, Alec. So, he is night 2 in Kirkland. They don't even know if he had a mattress. Like, they kind of think he might be doing the cement slab.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Like, no blanket, no pillow, no mattress, cement slab. Like, ooh. And the back problems he's going to have. Right?
Or,
like,
Auntie's in that, like, that the big no blanket, like you can't do, like the just walking around in a blanket all day, right? Like this suicide little suit.
Oh yeah, that's just a piece of paper that they I like
Well,
to call that
that's
clothing.
I don't know. That's got to be embarrassing to walk around that joint and that thing.
Well,
A little bit, maybe.
yeah.
I feel uncomfortable.
My head just went to you do the crime, you do the time. I just like I can't find a lot of sympathy for this guy. I really can't.
Mm.
I tried. I really tried, but I think he's one of the worst human beings out there. I think he and Watts could be really good friends because they have a lot in common.
I'll give Bernie Madoff credit. At least when he knew when his time, like when the gig was up, he gathered his family. He told them first. Like I mean, I'm not saying that they're. I'm just saying the man did this. He knew what was coming next. I guess he helped a little, but you know, he got what he deserved. Alec didn't even. He got to the point where the finances. If he had just gone, like Fleming was getting trouble. Like people were being. You knew something was coming. It was getting people were picking up on stuff, especially some of the seeing something odd between like you and Corey Fleming or whatever. So I just can't.
I know.
I don't even.
Bye, MK. Thank you for being here tonight. I always
You never
have
came
one.
clean then. That's when you come to the conclusion of like, I'll be damned. All right, I gotta tell y'all something. This is bad. But you do what you have to do, and you cooperate, and that says so much more about. You know what I mean, right? What you think at that point, like that's where you go, and hell, IRS, law enforcement, whatever, whoever would have needed to be involved, where I can tell you, they sure as hell would have appreciated that dealing with you and you coming to them and cooperating. Then the hell you've been putting them through as well with this whole shit show.
Aussie. I call them my ears too. I always say, I can't find my ears. I can't find my ears. Where's my ears? Yeah. So, he's a miserable little fuck sitting there alone. And I watched someone else yesterday say that they think that once Buster accepts what happened, and like learns the facts, takes everything in, gets older, does moves on with his life, that the visits are going to go down. He's not going to have anybody. He and Randy don't talk. He's got John Marvin, which who knows for how long. Hey, see, some of my Aussie friends are coming in. I love my Aussie friends. More drugs in prison than on the streets, right? Oh, I definitely think he's going to be. I don't know if he will be, one of the top guys there. I really don't believe that, because he's too much of a wuss. But I definitely think he will be able to keep himself set with drugs and Twinkies, probably, and whatever else commissary sends. I don't know. Tattoos. What did you say? Hold on one sec. Let me see. I believe Paul did it. Sounds crazy. I know. You believe Paul did what, Debbie? You believe Paul did what?
I know people think that Paul shot the.
Oh, I love that too. Tattoos.
Well, I've heard.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that some people, I mean, believe that Paul was a murder-suicide kind of thing. But I don't know. I literally don't know if I can get behind that. That might be one of the things I could say, like, maybe a little bit, but I don't know if I would understand the science according to, like, the forensics.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
I think for Buster and sorry.
No, go ahead. Go right ahead.
No, I was just thinking for Buster right now in terms of, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, that guy, I was thinking he was like my age, and then I realized he's like 10 years young, even more than that, younger than I am. And he's got a lot, like, you know, that's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel right now. I mean, I think he has every right to feel that way. And I think he loves his dad. I think, that he loves his entire family. I think he needs time to let this all, kind of sink in, because no one wants to believe either, no matter how many non-answers or answers you get. No other, no one wants to believe that your dad did that
No, I mean, I can't
to
believe
you.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Delana, I wanted to say goodnight to you and Legend. We love you so much. Enjoy your
Oh,
movie.
yes, y'all have a good movie.
Have fun, and hopefully we'll catch up with you in a day or two. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I just feel like Buster needs to. I think he's going to be running through a lot in his head, and I think sometimes he is going to see things that, I don't know. He's human too, so he has every right for a minute to be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe. I know my dad didn't do it, but like when you look at this, the data or something that's obvious, or you have to listen to him say he lied and all the stuff he's done. That has to be hard to
How
take
about your
on as
brother's
well."
video?
Yeah, and knowing that, I don't know. I just think he's got a lot to work through, because I think he probably had a lot to work through even before Maggie and Paul were killed.
Oh, I can't imagine that their life was easy. I'm just saying, I can't imagine that it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Debbie said she feels so bad for Buster.
Mm-hmm.
I do as well. He's got a long, I actually said this to LFT earlier. Like, I really hope the kid gets some therapy. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that facetiously at all. Like, I genuinely hope he gets some therapy. I hope that he can be the one to turn this around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be amazing. That's actually what I would hate for him. Not to, you're gonna get, like, he'll never be able to escape this, and that's okay. He shouldn't, like, he should be who he is, but he'll never be able to escape, what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my hope for him is those stressors, similar to, I'm sure that, Alec had and his grandfather had, I'm sure those pressures exist. I just hope he's better equipped to deal with them and not fall into, any kind of similar habits.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't one that you can just sweep under the rug.
Dogs.
You can't just sweep this one under the rug and act like it didn't happen and hope that it'll go away, because it's going to eat him
Is
up.
Buster going back to law school? Not to my knowledge. And you know what? I'm just saying, and this is my opinion, it means nothing. Y'all know how I feel about that, but I hope he doesn't. I hope he forges his own.
Good use
That's
of
a bad joke, but I do hope he forges his own way. I hope he makes his own way in this world. I really do. I think
does he even want to go? Sometimes I wonder if he wants to be doing that. I do think he wants to be, like, carry on, like, the family name, and I guess that's why it was working at the firm. But he's not. It seems like it's not as easy for him, obviously. Right. If he's already had issues, if you're trying to go to be a lawyer, but you can't abide by the rules of law school, the laws of law school. Mm-hmm.
Just meant everything to me. Yeah.
Actually, that's actually funny.
My friends, this is the most common sense thing I've ever seen in my life. Don't do that.
Hey, see
what he did?
Do
don't
as they
do
say.
It.
No, yeah. And don't even do what they say either.
Hi, Philly girl.
What's your dad?
What if he is responsible for Stephen Smith? I don't know that he is. I don't know who is. I hope to God that they find out. My hope. I mean, what a crushing blow. That's what I would say. What a crushing blow it would be that if he was responsible.
Well, we
I
know
can't process that.
but no, what I have a harder time processing, because I've always heard ever since, I learned a couple years ago when it happened, I'd always just thought of Buster, when they said because of that. But when you posted to me that like a couple of weeks ago, you were like, how do we know it's not even like a different Murdoch? Like what about if it's Alec? And I was like, what about if it's Randy? I mean, we were just going back and forth, and I was like,
yeah,
damn.
Like what if? I mean, we don't know who we don't know who it is. We don't
But I
know
want to
who
know
it
what they
is.
found. I really wish they could tell us what there's something they found within that searching that house. So from since the death of Maggie and Paul, upon those searches, they found something that prompted them or validated something that they had heard or whatnot enough to them for them to go and take another look. What the heck is it?
Now, correct me because I don't know this, and I'm genuinely asking. They are exhuming Gloria Satterfield, but they are not exhuming Stephen Smith, correct? Like his autopsy has been done, and there's
his was
or
done.
are they?
No, I don't think so for him. I didn't think they were. They know what his autopsy was more complete. Satterfield didn't have one in her death certificate listed. Has it down as natural.
Natural.
But she had fallen from a severe brain injury, so how can it's not they were like, this doesn't make sense, and there was no autopsy done, which is why they want to exhume her.
Did the armpit guy do the autopsy? Can you imagine the rest of your life being known as the armpit guy? Well, okay, yes. And 2, dirty gloves. Tainted crime scene. Pretty awesome. They're Mr. Medical Examiner. Did she have broken ribs? She did have broken ribs. She had, I'll tell you what she had. And any nurses, doctors, lawyers, whatever, you can explain what's what to me, because I was going to look this up.
Savage Heart says they already did Gloria's, but haven't revealed the results yet. Is what they heard. And I was actually T and I wondered that too. We wondered if they would do it because we knew the family gave permission and they were going to do it in a way that was like respectful and whatnot. And didn't we say maybe like while all this is going on in terms of everyone's focused in Walterboro dealing with that, like maybe would they do it?
Maybe this is the time to do it. Yeah,
do it. Yeah. I'm wondering. I agree too, Mark.
So this is what happened to Gloria when she fell. Right side laceration, right side subdural hematoma, traumatic brain injury, left posterior rib fracture, partially collapsing lung, pulmonary contusion. I almost said confusion. No coroner, no autopsy. Now, and this is what was interesting to me. And this was, again,
we have her autopsy.
This was LFT's find. And I want to make sure, because if it's Murdoch and you have any questions, like direct them to LFT. Don't direct them to me. But this was her find. And she said Gloria found pills under Alex's bed, told Paul she was going to tell his daddy. Alex's daddy, Randolph, not Paul's daddy. And in the HBO special, they're unclear on that. When they say she found pills under his bed and she was going to his daddy. The first time I heard
threatened to tell his daddy.
I thought it was Paul with the pills and she was going to Alec. But no, I don't think so. I think LFT is right. I think Gloria found the pills under Alec's bed and she was going to tell Randolph, right? Is that what your thought process was?
That's what
Yes, collapse lung. Yes.
yes, that's what I thought once. It was in that HBO, and I know there have been rumors have always speculated it, but that was the first time that guy, and he was like, "We've all been talking about it." She had told so when it was like I believe Gloria had even told like a good friend or someone that Gloria had confided in her or something, but it was that she had found his stash of pills, and she threatened to tell his dad, and she threatened to get to tell his daddy, and
apparently she did fall. I'm sorry. Ooh.
no, but I just think like I don't, but at the same time, I don't know that like that accident itself was planned. I don't know though, but I do.
She fell going up the stairs, but I do believe she fell backwards. It was 8 stairs, and they were brick stairs. They were the outdoor stairs, and they were brick stairs, and she fell. She tripped over the dogs. Supposedly, she said when she regained. Well, she never regained.
She never
consciousness.
did. She never regained consciousness. But CB Rowe had seen her coming in and saw her walking up the steps too. And he said it was just like every morning kind of deal. With her McDonald's drink, like her hand, she had her purse.
Did she have an iced tea or?
Yeah, like her iced tea or something in the bag. And but the way somehow I guess the way she got turned around with the dogs, and then all he says, I just remember him saying that Paul called him, or Alec called him, even though Alec wasn't at home. But he and Paul were the ones that lifted her off the steps to get her flat.
CB Rowe did, and
CB Rowe, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So she had right side laceration, right side subdural hematoma, traumatic brain injury. That's a hell of a. I mean, she. Left posterior rib fracture, partially collapsed lung, pulmonary contusion. I know what most of those things are, but that's a lot from a fall. Like, I'm legitimately in my head trying, and we have a friend who we talked to today who said, I really believe that this, after looking into some of the stuff, that I believe this was an accident. And I was like, okay, well, I trust you, I think, your word is as good as gold to me. So, but I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, damn, that's a hell of an accident.
But remember, she'd had like a stroke or something a couple weeks prior.
She had a car accident the day before.
Or that too. Okay, that maybe was a car accident.
She was in a car accident the day before.
I think because I couldn't see it. I mean, yes, that makes me think there was something more. Like it was more than just, or maybe I don't know. But the weird thing is eloquent. I don't know where I was going with this, but
Kez, I got it. Thank you, love. Thank you so much.
Holy crap.
Mark. I do, this is where I agree with you. Like, if they didn't want her to have a heartbeat, I don't think she would have. I think if they were trying to make it look like an accident, it wouldn't have taken her 3 weeks to pass.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully at all. I really don't. So the friend that said, hey, I think this might be an accident, I'm kind of looking at like,
that may have been an accident, and then that accident presented an opportunity for Alec.
Another opportunity, and that I can get behind. 100% I can get behind that. It is a string of bad luck, Big T. I agree. It's a horrible luck. I never want to have that luck. Yeah, she fell at Moselle. Hang on 1 second.
And I know there is some speculation because he had done that, redone the insurance thing too, just like 4 months prior. But I think that's where the opportunity. But I think that's where that's what the opportunity was. Not that I don't know right now if that was orchestrated, but that's when that was his opportunity to pounce and utilize what he, Because y'all, he was always doing stuff with properties and moving. And
hot coffee. Good night. And I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. God bless and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for joining us for the time that you did. We appreciate you.
yes.
We love her. So Maggie and Paul just happened to be outside. No, actually, what happened is Maggie and Paul were asleep. And I'm not quite sure if the dog started to bark, if there was a ruckus, if it made a loud noise when she fell. I don't know. I truly have looked very little into Ms. Satterfield's case, so I don't know a lot. I know the basics of her.
I know basics and some of the financials, but
yeah. I literally just started looking into it. I just want to tell you guys, though, in case you don't know, yes, Bubba was blamed for this as well. Bubba, Bourbon, Blue, and Sassy. And literally, I swear to God, on my notes right here, I have written, poor Bubba. Because the dog's being blamed for yet another death. Are you kidding me?
That's really interesting. Well, that depends because remember, what time did that phone call come into 911 for Gloria? It was at 9:18 or something. Wait, no.
Well, actually, you know what? The dogs may have been put up, but also Maggie let the dog sleep on the back porch. So if it was nice, let's see, it was February when she fell. You keep talking. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to do some homework over here.
Maybe, because I can't remember what time Alex said he had left that morning. It's in one of those reports. Well, but I mean, like if the dogs had stayed up at the house, if there was their everyday dog, so ones that can go to a death stove and elsewhere, or death stove. If Alec had just left a while before and had let the dogs out, and the dogs were just let them out and they can run, or I don't know, because I guess they wouldn't go too far. They'd just pee and then sit up on the porch. I could see something like that, but then I wonder that makes me think, oh God, I need to stop talking, because that gets me down the road of going, well, hell, how long had she been sitting out there? What if Alec knocked her over when he was...
I did go through that a little bit. The fellow calls Maggie to wake, and Paul too was asleep. Maggie wakes Paul, and they call 911 at 9:24. Alex was at work 20 minutes away. Maggie calls 911 at 9:24 and called Alec at 9:45. Keep this in mind, because here's another fun little fact for you all. Called Alec at 9:45. Alex says he was there when the EMTs arrived, but the EMTs arrived at 9:41.
Yep.
Alec, you weren't even alerted till 4 minutes after the EMTs were there. So
yeah,
shut your dirty mouth.
And he lied about that, by the way, too, in the what?
Go ahead. What was the date of the accident? Do you know? February what?
February 18th, right? No, February 26th. It was the 26th.
That was the day she died.
Or then February.
She was in
18.
It was right after her birthday. Her birthday was the 8th. Tell me she didn't fall on her birthday.
No.
Tell me these cold ass individuals didn't. I need to know.
I'm Googling it real fast. I have it, and I'm not even looking at. Sorry, y'all don't have my notebook sitting over here with me. Give me 1 second. Oh, what's that, Siri? Hey, Siri. What day did Gloria Satterfield fall down?
So it was around 63 degrees. And the low would have been, where is it? 41 would have been the low. No, I don't even have the low. 41 was, it was 46 was the low that night. So there's a chance, Whoever just asked me that question and I totally got sidetracked. There's a chance that the dogs were at the at the house sleeping. Hold on a second. Oh, Lord have mercy. Sorry. February 2nd? Really? Really? She fell before her birthday? Oh, that's horrible. Oh, bless her heart.
Okay. So she died on the 26th. Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. February 2nd?
February 2nd.
Really? You think Scrumpy Cat?
I knew. Oh, February is not a good month for the Murdochs either. This Gloria was February. Mallory Beach was February. This murder trial started. It still February.
Mm-hmm.
And then even his great, the one on the train tracks, that was February. His grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Or great grandfather.
Woofy, you can run amok. You know that. You're in charge.
By
the way, anyone who thinks
if anyone wants to help out, but I couldn't.
Yeah, no, here's the deal. Like anyone who thinks that we're in charge of our channel needs to talk to our mods. They will tell you who's really in charge. It is them. And we're just here for it. It's just spamming. I love my wolf. But yeah, so poor Gloria, now I just found out that's a whole nother level. She spent the hospital on her birthday.
Mm-hmm. And she was bleeding out of her ear by the time that's at that point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going to be good. I just can't believe the way he orchestrated everything that happened after that. But I will mention on other crazy theories though about it, thinking about it. Remember and I always chat, help me out, the other case with the one where they unplugged the ventilator? How it was just ironic that after he got moved to that unit,
right,
made that change, like all of a sudden, and then the next thing you know, Alex making money off of it. And I know he visited her in the hospital. And so for a split second, I was like, but then I think about, holy crap, what about if he did that on purpose? Like, would he? I mean, I hope not.
Hakeem, yeah.
Yeah, Hakeem,
thank you, Mark. Mo needs Mo evidence. I love Mark. By the way, and this was the thing that was terribly alarming to me. I don't know why, stuff like this bothers me, but they called her a domestic worker, and she made $10 an hour. This woman did everything, including raise the children.
Mm-hmm.
And you paid her $10 an hour under the table. I don't have any problem with that. Do what you got to do. But $10 an hour to raise your children.
Mm-hmm. And she worked for, she'd been with even
20 plus years
with the Murdoch, with this.
What was she making? $3.35 an hour when she started? Like, what the? When I heard that infuriated me.
So let me see here. I need server parties okay. So she would do that, and then she got paid $10 an hour. She worked parties and stuff. Either way, the Murdochs did not deduct taxes from her paychecks. The day before this particular morning, Gloria appears to have been in a car accident, though no report seems to have been verified with local law enforcement. She did file an insurance claim, but did not inform her employers.
She didn't do a police. She didn't do a police report either, and they thought it was weird. And I will say this because this was in my notes too. Mm-hmm. They thought she would have told Alec if it was that serious because he would have represented her.
Yeah, that's what. So it says, okay, Mr. Murdaugh was not aware of it. He believes it would have been a low impact accident. Else Miss Sutterfield would have mentioned it to him and would have called him for legal guidance. Gloria's younger son, Tony, was either a registered nurse.
Who loves Tony?
Oh gosh, okay, so he worked. Let me see what else. I was looking
You
for
think
one
that's
other.
typical wage in the Hampton area? I mean, maybe that's true, but that just it really bugged. I don't know. It tugged at my heartstrings, and it really bothered me. Not that $10 an hour isn't great. It is, but you're talking about if you were raising my children, and I'm a multimillionaire. Well, first of all, you wouldn't be raising my kids, but we're just gonna. I didn't have them, so somebody else could raise them. But if that is the case, I'd be a hell of a lot more grateful. I mean, that's more than a full-time. That's 2 full-time jobs. I expect you to work at raising my kids and also keeping my house clean. That's 2 full-time jobs. I'm just saying.
They did end up going to the funeral, right?
Who?
Didn't Paul go to Gloria's funeral?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He and Morgan, they went to the funeral, and he was terribly upset. Which, again, he looked at her like a mother figure. So, I don't know. I just, like I said, that she and Steven break my heart, and I'm really hoping that seems low wage for working for some. That's what I thought too, Savage. That's exactly what I thought. I thought that's kind of low for their stature. And she also worked for Chris Wilson, helping to raise their kids. $10 an hour there is like 20. Okay. See, you know more than I do. Oh, do you? I got it at thank you. I got it at Amazon.
The Lloyds of London, that insurance company.
Oh, Lloyd's, they're the ones who insure like weird things too. Like people's legs and like Dolly Parton's boobs and
okay. So
Lloyd's of London does. Yeah. They do weird things.
Okay, and then he did another company held his umbrella policy for the $5 million. Okay.
Right. And then he had Corey Fleming on the side, right? Wasn't he like, hey, and you can call my friend Corey Fleming? And
oh my gosh. And so in order for the umbrella policy to take effect, every penny of the underlying policy had to be paid, or a promise of payment had to be made. His underlying policy was $505,000. So every bit of that had to be met before that umbrella policy kicked in. So this means that it was really important that Alex be able to adequately convince the Lloyd's people, the underwriting one, that he was at fault in Gloria's death. That's why he had to stress that, right?
Thanks, Shay. Huh. Oh, you guys are so sweet. You guys are the best. I don't know.
How do you know fraud? Like, how do you pick up on that in terms of the fraud? Like, is that not typically how it happens? Like,
I don't understand your question. Tell me what you mean. As far as insurance fraud goes?
Yeah, because won't they admit, like, won't your average policy holder, if they, something happened and they're at fault for any, don't they tell you that you are at fault for any reason, for any given covered incident? You will admit such to their insurance company. Like, don't you typically admit it when that happens, so that you
Well,
That's
you're
why you have
filing a
insurance.
claim you're filing a claim with your own insurance company. So you're admitting it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if you're in an accident and whatever, hit and run, what I'm just going to use that as a bad example. You're going to file against your own insurance company, even though it's not your fault. With an umbrella policy, though, it's different. Homeowners is the same way. You're filing against your own policy.
Okay.
So there's no admission of anything. You're already filing. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Okay, that makes sense. I just had like
Does that answer your question or no?
Yes. No, that does. I was just having a
Okay.
brain fart. Like, when I get it, but I just needed to talk out the hiccups.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do know insurance. There's no question.
I just can't get over how the maneuvering
my forte.
to orchestrate and get, to make this work. That's,
Come here, say hi to everyone.
if these people use their brains for good.
It was Mr. Tia behind me. Did you see him? That's why it's blurred. He was letting my dog in. Hi, dog. So everybody say hi. Can you say hi to everyone? There he is. Puppy.
Ugh.
Say hi to Wolfie. He's like, I am not having this. I'm not having this. Did you say hi to Wolfie? Did you? Well, did you? What do you have to say? Do you like Alec?
I don't know. I'm going back to reading chat.
No.
Dash and I don't get along at all.
Mr.
Like,
Tia.
well.
It is. Yeah, Mr. Tia. That's so funny.
And put it in trust for her.
He is. He's a good boy.
Oh, hilarious too. That's so sweet. Like I don't know. There's just a certain way to treat people and a certain way to be a decent human being. And
we do completely. Sorry, buddy. We do. She's my person. It's funny how that happens. And you know what? I met her on the internet.
What are
I
we
met her
talking
in a
about?
true crime chat. And I love how you both complete the other. Yeah. I was gonna say, Tia, someone is lurking in the background. Wolfie loves puppies. I know you do. Wolf pack. He's part of the wolf pack. He's part of the wolf pack.
I don't know. It's kind of more like too many chiefs in the teepee when he comes around, but what do I know? I'm just saying.
He spurs jealousy in her. 4 pounds of. He is just the sweetest little thing. I don't even know where he went, but he spurs her jealousy.
You don't know what goes on when you walk out of that room.
Don't talk about my puppy like that.
I'm not, but I am going to talk about my like just. I'm going to vent about what it was like for me.
I know who your other halves are, or thirds, MJ and Allie. Yeah. Glory was going to pick up her check.
Yes, that's it.
They never saw that either. Did they not? Are you telling me they didn't pay?
That's exactly.
Are you kidding me?
I knew there was something. Hold on.
You are telling me?
What else did they testify about this? Like, when they talked to CB Rowe, he was able to give he gave stuff that he didn't even realize that was like anything maybe really bad, but he was just being like, I thought he gave up. He almost messed up something, I think, for Alec.
What do you mean?
Ding, ding, ding. Like he said something that contradicted something that Alec had said, but Alec was able to cover. I can't remember what it was. And he wasn't doing it like intentionally, but CB Rowe, when he gave I remember, and it was something that kind of could have been problematic, but Alec, you'll never believe this, but he was able to handle it, and kind of take care of it, if you will. Knew how to cover it. I don't know if you knew that he did this. It's something that people in town have been talking about, though, that he's been doing this kind of shit for a while. And he was able, he was. He was able, everyone believed him and trusted him.
Wolfie just called you out, by the way.
Yep. And I loved every second of it. I was one of the banana ones.
See, I love that Wolfie's on. She's like, mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to. I was trying to be so quiet, and I know it's terribly rude. For the record, I'm about to have a sip of a Coca-Cola Zero. If anyone isn't offended, I would like to do that now because that's making a
I want
complete
to make
ass
sure
out of
that
us.
I want to make sure
making
that I offend as many people as
many
possible
people
on
as
this
possible
stream.
since I'm being a complete ass and probably. I mean, I could have the Amy Vanderbilt book thrown at me 10 times in a row right now, and don't worry.
I tease
Only
her
got it.
because like it doesn't bother me, but it does. Like there's people who get really upset, like with people who eat on streams, and so I'm like always very like when the dog barks, I freak out. I'm like, oh my god, or like she coughs or something. I'm always like, oh, people with earphones on, don't do that. And so I'm always like, I get so paranoid. I don't care if she eats. Like it does not offend me in the least. We eat with each other on the phone all the damn time.
I've been trying to mute anytime I have a Cheerio in my mouth. If y'all have noticed, I've been muting a lot. If y'all have noticed, I've been muting a lot. So I'm not here like with a hay bag strapped to myself and just gnawing on it.
The Cheerio feed bag.
Like, it's not just hanging here and I'm like, raw. Like, I have to eat my way to the microphone to be able to talk or something. Like I'm just muting to eat, like add Cheerio. Yeah, literally.
And we've just gone off the rails.
And if I turn my camera on right now, you're gonna see add Cheerio.
God bless you.
But my whole point is, if I don't think I'm up here like, mwah, 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 I feel like
we've completely gone off the rails. There is no way anyone will ever come back. It's totally fine. We're just gonna make this our last hurrah. Okay.
Is this what y'all thought? Is that how I sounded? Because you pick up on it. I've been called out for eating a lot recently. I thought it was the clanking of my silverware on the plate or a bowl.
That is loud though. When you're wearing earphones, that is really loud.
But last night, when I wasn't supposed to be
Came
eating,
on for best effect.
But first of all, I want the record to be known that last night when she told me don't eat it, and I was like, I'm just holding it.
Yeah,
I ran back and grabbed a plastic fork out and brought it in because I had my and I was like, the clink got me last time. That was tragic. Like that was an epic bust. But did y'all look at that mindfulness? I was like, oh, if I still can't do what Tia says,
sneakiness. It's not mindfulness.
If I can't do what Tia said, if I still can't commit to it against Day, I'm still gonna think about the clink thing that bothered people. I'm gonna go get a plastic fork, and I ran back. I literally came here, and it was like, whoom. And I was like, they'll never know. And then you were like, "Are you eating?"
Because I knew you were eating, and you're like, no, not me. Okay, Alec, thanks.
You had it like oh my god, if you could see my face right now, I'm mortified. But I'm also not. I'm kind of proud of my Cheerio love, and I do eat them all the time. And right now, I'm holding one in my hand, and it's like, do I do it? See if y'all can tell if I did it.
Well, Wolfie can.
You would have played guess.
She got ears for days. She knows what time it is.
All right.
I wanted to see this because here's the kicker on the kennel video just before Maggie says he's got a bird. Alex or Paul says, Buster, get him. I don't remember the Buster get him part. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that.
You know what? I think, MC, you're right. I did hear it a little bit more. It was Datelines. I think I watched Dateline and 2020. I think it was Dateline. For some odd reason, their audio of that kennel video was very crisp because you can hear Paul like saying, hold on, Cash, and then you hear oh, he's got a chicken, and it is Bubba.
It's a chicken. He's got a chicken in his mouth.
But you're right, it is. But it's a lot easier to hear it. I think I even did a double take going. like, was that what we heard before? It made me go like, that sounded, I don't know if it's just because they
Next, you're going to
adjusted
have
the
to go back and
audio.
listen to that. I'm not,
But what gets me is that the whole time, do you know what made me realize too, that in terms of like when we talked about the angles of the shooting and stuff, for him to be calling Bubba, I always envisioned him being down kind of like not by the feed room, further down. His butt was right there because Bubba's the first one. His kennel's number one. And he's calling him, and he puts the chicken on top of the little, pet carrier that's sitting on the table right outside the feed room. And he was right, like, so he was calling Bubba, getting everyone to come running to where they needed to be. He was calling, if he's calling Bubba, and Bubba's coming to his kennel, the feed room area. So literally, Alec had everyone kind of where they were supposed. It would be a lot of act. Like, he's right. I think he was right. He wasn't lying when he says it's always chaotic with the dogs, or there was, it was chaotic down there. Like, the dogs were out. I think he's probably really right. It was probably.
Listen, he doesn't like chaos and he doesn't like to sweat. Two things that I can guarantee you will happen: sweating and chaos, where he's about to go. So my guess is he's going to be doing a lot of rocking back and forth. Allie doesn't call Wolfie when she speaks on YouTube to Wolfie. She doesn't slip. Why do you think that is? Because she's smart. I don't know.
Why? Do you think he's cried yet?
Yeah, for himself.
I mean, like,
do.
no, I mean, like, have
100%.
like that breakdown of like that first night, like any night.
Look where I am. What the fuck just happened in my life? Yeah, I do. I think, yeah. I don't know how you can't, right? But it's all tears for him.
Yeah,
it's not the loss.
Those are the real tears. That's when it comes like from the pit of your stomach, kind of.
But it's not for what has happened or accepting responsibility. It's not. It's all self-absorbed bullshit. Do you, if you think the reason he didn't call Buster right away is because he knew he was getting rid of stuff and heading back from his alibi to form his alibi?
I still can't. How can you be paranoid?
I think it's weird. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think it's weird he didn't freaking call his own son. And I think it's weird he called a list of other people's before he called his own son. I think that's weird AF. I'm really trying to control my language. I'm only going to do a couple of fucks on here as we go. Sorry. I'll tone it down. I know it's offensive to some, so I apologize. But
no, I don't, because he wasn't worried. Like, that's he wasn't worried, and he knew he didn't have to call him. And I guess my guess is too, because he made so many calls. Like, he called John Marvin, Randy, and all, Christy, everyone. I bet.
Didn't he call Chris Wilson and?
Oh, and that he talked to Chris Wilson in the car, like on the way back when he's back driving. But here's the thing: I almost put money on it that Buster started getting messages and calls from his aunts and uncles before he realized what was truly going on, and by the time he got the call from Alec, because Alec had gotten in touch at least with them and been able to send messages, and I'm hoping that's the case. But then I also hate that you hear it from a family member, and your dad, and it's not him calling to tell you first. Like, something about that would still bother me. I would want, as a dad, and your other two immediate family members are on the ground in front of you, my first call would be to my remaining child. And I would hate for him to have to hear it, from like his aunts or uncles in a text message or missed phone calls, and then he answers the one from his dad. And they talked till literally like 10:59? I had it mapped out, like literally the minute to my minute, how long they were on the phone. And so they didn't hang up till like a minute or two before 11 p.m. that night. So Buster didn't leave at 11, or like, didn't he say he was on the road at 11? No, apparently that's when you were sitting on the bed answering, talking to your dad, and then Brooklyn just kind of started standing up and asking what was wrong and putting stuff in the bed, like woke up, got dressed. So his time about leaving isn't even quite accurate.
No. In the video, Maggie was saying it's a guinea and Alex was saying, come here, Baba. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Randy J. Every time the Murdochs come into trouble, they write Grandpa. I know. Grandpa's gone. Everything is unfolding. I said that. He was the glue. He was the fixer. He was the guy that you called. Notice that Paul didn't call. Get up there. Didn't call his dad when the boat accident happened. He didn't call his dad. He called his grandfather.
Did y'all know that Randolph, though, on the 8th was able to go over to, he went over to Moselle and saw Alec. Or no, was it on the, yeah, it was on the 8th, that day they were all in the gun room. He left, he was leaving when I think one of the guys or someone got there. That was the last, he went there to show it, like to give his son some support. And then he died. And then he goes home and he dies.
Mm-hmm.
He left. He literally died later. He got to see Alec that morning, and then he went home. And it's just.
Yep, Wolfie, you're right. Wolfie just sent me a message, and I just had to tell her. The boy was costing him millions, and the wife would have cost him millions in divorce. Yep. TV guy. Yep, you're right. They're seeing what you're watching on TV. I had it blurred in the background, but a friend of mine is on here and she's really good at this stuff. He's going to find something cool, then he said. What about the court when the judge said to Alex he put people on death row for less than what he did? That was such an impactful statement. It really was. It really, don't be sorry, Wolfie. You're totally fine. That was such basically anything that judge said, I stopped, looked, and listened to, because I thought, well, first of all, I loved him. I just thought he was the most amazing. Everything he said was so meaningful and brilliant. And I really, really, really liked him a lot. But when he said that, it was a moment. He was like, your grandfather's portrait hung in the back. I had to remove that. You've been in, before me before, arguing cases. And, we've send people to death row on less than what you did. It was so like, if you weren't present in that moment, which I don't think Alec was by any means, it really, like that
it was like he was a disappointed father up there talking to Alex.
Yeah.
You had all this, yeah, and
yes, the judge did lose his son.
And he'd done, like, I do think, because they all care, they take their jobs and their fields like seriously, and they mean something, and to see someone come in and to do something, to just treat something that you're so devoted to, and that a lot, your community, you're in this, and you just shat all over us and made a mockery of the state of South Carolina, like, and he even gave him opportunities to be like, is there anything else? Like, he just spoke to him like like, he's not yelling, he's not angry. He's hard, he's really disappointed. I know, I bet he is a little mad. Actually, he is.
I'm sure he was furious. But also, I think that when you meet, there's certain people in your life, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's certain people in your life that when they walk in a room, they command your respect. not because it's something that they do, it's something that you want to do because their presence is so powerful and you can feel that, like it's a thing. My father-in-law had that thing. You just, when he walked in, he commanded respect, but it wasn't something he did. It was just that way about him. You loved him so much. He just, for me, that's what this judge was for me. Like, he had my respect the second he opened his mouth, and he was so brilliant and so.
He was classy. He has it.
All the good things that you can say about a human being is all the good things, and it had to be horrendous. By the way, it had to be horrendous. Sitting up there, just losing your son, and going through this horrible trial. It had to be horrible. You feel it in your core. Yes. Thank you. Yes. That is exactly what you feel. It's a feeling. It's not a
He gave the victim impact speech is what he did.
Yes.
He gave the victim impact speech.
That's very true. That's very true. And I do love how he worded it. I love how he chose. He was well thought out. There are not enough adjectives for me to tell you how much I fell in love with that man. And not in a weird way, just in a sorry. I'll take care of that. Thank you so much. Let me handle something while we're talking here. I just loved him. I thought it was awesome. Let me just take care of something here. I gotta deal with a little something. There we go. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate that, by the way. And thank you for your message. I'm glad we could straighten that out. First of all, I think it takes a lot to become a judge. A lot of education, a lot of life experience, a hell of a lot of patience. I'm a judgy bitch, but there's no way I can make it to that chair. That's way not my thing. But I like women, but I loved him, Mark Klein. I don't know. He restores my faith in humanity, and I'm glad that he's where he is. Because you did want him to be your dad or your grandpappy. I love that.
He's like that figure, like that father figure up there, looking at like a member of his family, and just being like, son, it's really sad to see you here today. Like, we had good times. You had a wife, like all of this, and to see you here now, and you continue to lie, and I'm not sure when it would end. That's on you, but like, he gave him the opportunity, and it just broke my heart for him. Like, that might be that's gonna be my smartest comment of the night, that Judge Newman was the victim impact statement.
That is true. That is very, very true. I appreciate that. I don't know.
But see, and that's what I get too. And I think what I like about this judge is that he carries himself. He managed a very intense kind of courtroom, but he carried himself with a elevated degree of class and kept his composure, even when stern. But he knows about delivery and what it is, and he stuck to his guns. And I really think, like, when he said it, he was like, I know the appeals are coming and all this stuff, and he's ready for it. And now, after hearing those other attorneys talk more about, like, because I do think they have every right to appeal, don't get me wrong, but in terms of succeeding, I'm not sure about that. But like, that's what I liked about him. Like, he's prepared, and he's also about to see Alec again because he's handling the financial stuff. And
well, and
because they may not even let you come to court, pal. Then it's going to be a meeting in chambers that you're not even involved in, and you're going to be signing some plea deal. And you won't even be able to get out of prison to come, put on street clothes and be able to go or throw a sweater on and jump in the cage to be taken, downtown to the courthouse. They won't even allow him that.
Sorry, I need to type this message really quick. I just need to inform someone of something so they feel better.
Did y'all know that they've had how many sheriffs indicted in the last
13, 15? Is that what it was?
They have had 13 sheriffs in that district. Wait, no, not that district, or in the state. Is it
In the state.
But in the last like 5 or 7 years. Yeah. 13, a third of them, or something like that.
Yeah, a third of the sheriff. I love Sheriff Grady too, by the way. And I listen to all his news when they do I love him. I love him. I love Grady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In a moment, we need.
I will Wolfie,
Yes,
I'll tell you later. I will get back to you. I promise you on that, and we're good.
I agree, Mark. That
we need more level-headed men in control, not big O. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No. Wolfie, it's totally cool. She's got a wizard. she has a wand and she must wizard. Yeah. Oh, Brandy's fine. Yeah. Don't even worry about Brandy. And all that he was a classy guy. Yeah. He was a great guy. And he was the angel in this horrible situation, I think. And I don't know. I don't know.
If y'all should I promote that surviving one that channel?
Hell yeah. Can you put that channel in by chance?
Yes, I'm going to, because I was really hoping. I saw Karen Mooring. I was watching the one that I played for you again earlier, and I saw her in the chat, and I was like, I love it. So y'all, I've been watching Surviving the Survivor. And I'll put has any of y'all seen it? Oh wait, who else have I want to say I've seen other people, but I love the discussions and the different caliber and range of special guests and like experts and analysts that come on and give theirs, their opinions, especially getting the local, other attorneys. I love it, and it's been so helpful. And yes, I knew y'all were in there. Yes, because I went, oh my God, that's because Tia said it the other night. I said that name is now like my new favorite. Remember, I was asking you. I asked you while I was driving in the car. Okay, I did see you in there. See, they know about them, and I feel like their discussions provide a lot of insight on, especially the one today where they were just kind of like, all right, let her rip. Like, yeah, I'll open up a little bit more now about what I really think now that he's been, the trial is over. But that was just me.
Did you see this comment I just put up? Yeah, put it in there. But did you see the comment? I'm going to say it out loud. And in some parts of South Carolina, being a black man hasn't been easy. I can't imagine. And I won't pretend. I can't.
You're right.
And thank you for writing that in our chat. And thank you for saying that, because you're damn right. I don't know. And I can't imagine. And God bless you.
They did just, did anyone think it was kind of interesting when I just have to ask the last question? Are you rolling your eyes at me? Oh,
no,
man, see YouTube, I just brought it up on the computer, and that's a few seconds behind.
No, not at all. No. Oh God, no. No, I was impacted by that statement, and it just kind of talking
what
about
brought
Judge
me-
Newman, and then hit me in my feels. That's all. Did you put
No,
that in there?
I'm trying to do it right this second. But no, that's what all the points you were just making made me think of.
GT, no, it wasn't a racial thing at all. It was just someone speaking their mind, and I agree, it wasn't racial at all. And thank God, please, thank you. Let's just all just say thank God for that one.
Oh my gosh, I had such a good question that I wanted to ask y'all.
Tell me.
Hold on, y'all, it was really, really good. And it was something about we had heard it. Oh my gracious.
Surviving the survivors? What was it?
Yeah, but what was it that didn't I even ask you?
I don't know what we're talking about. So
what's a question? What's a question?
What's a question I can ask to you?
No, what's a question I've asked you recently? Can you start going down the list? Maybe it'll help me remember what this one was gonna be. Y'all, I'm so mad.
Y'all see my face, right? What's a question that I
remember that question?
You?
Hey, you remember that one?
Nope.
Oh my God, it was such a good one. It was a whole different take on this. Something about the case. Buster. Da, 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 da. Okay, but the survivor, their discussions are so good. That's where I was, right? It's so many different insights, and you get every form of like
you get all the sides, all the opinions, all the sides. You get the legal, you get the psychological. It's good stuff.
And you get their opinions on like the judge and their experiences with the judges and what they know and how they've worked together. And that's what's so amazing about this is, I guess what she said too, that firm, you didn't do like in that town if you needed like the co-counsel or if you had to do another firm, work with another firm, you didn't have any standing if you didn't work with.
Do you guys think that firm's in trouble as far as, do you think people will still continue to use them? I'm curious. I wonder.
Did
this trial have an impact on the Parker law firm now? Yes, SDS is on YouTube.
Yeah,
it has to be in trouble, right now. Right?
Well,
I would think so too, because they've and one of the things that they talked about on STS, which was really cool, was the fact that for 10 years, Alec had been taking money from their law firm. And what was the point of that? That they
that they only noticed it now, like they were
when their money
only noticed, with the Forge.
Because Forge was a place that you wrote checks to. No, that you accepted checks from, not wrote checks to. So that should have been the he is still employed there. I know. Randy Murdoch is still employed at, I call it pimped. I call it pimped. But the Parker law firm, the firm.
What about Alex signing the notice of Tia, the thing that they did to mess up with the sale of Moselle and the property, and the Beach family. That when he signed the letter of you know what I'm talking about. Alex signed a note of confession in order to screw with the sale of Moselle and the Beach lawsuit.
I want to know what was up with the Poot sunglasses. Holy macaroni.
They were too small for his eyeballs.
He didn't have them on his ears. That's what it was. He had them so instead of putting your glasses on like a normal person who puts them here, like on your ears, he had them like this. He's walking around with them on the side, like way up his head. And I was like, what the hell is he doing? You goofball. I think, I'm telling you, and this is just my opinion, but I think Poot had Jim Griffin as the sacrificial lamb doing the closing argument so he could continue his fine senatorial run. That's my opinion. Aren't they self-employed? Yeah, they are self-employed, but I mean, I don't think Poot's got much life in him. Do you? Like, the guy's got to retire soon. He looked damn tired. He was like nodding off during this sentencing. His eyes are closing, and I don't know. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking on you. I don't know. I think Jim Griffin's in trouble. I feel for him. I think he should probably throw in the towel.
I think what Jim, the other guy that that was on the Jim, he's an attorney. He nailed it. He was like, I can see what, like, he said, especially if Judge Newman had let that last juror stay on, if like hadn't been dismissed, that may have been their best grounds for like an argument in terms of an appeal and a mistrial or what have you. But to hear him explain how, like, he was like, quite frankly, I don't think, I mean, they allowed it in. He signed their client admits it. They opened the door to the conversation to begin with by the direction they took the questioning, yada, yada, yada. He was like, it's all going to be just, they still would have rendered the same result.
There's Surviving the Survivors.
I put it in there.
I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it up there. All right, just ignore what Decipher wrote and everyone go listen to LFT.
No, I'm just not looking at my phone.
Sorry.
It's hilarious.
I apologize. I didn't see it. It must have snuck by me.
It's just funny because I'm looking at my computer and the computer's delayed. I'm assuming because this is a cold shoulder I'm getting. Like right now, you're talking on my computer. Like you're still now I'm talking on my. Like we're not so out of sync. So every time I'm saying something, I look up and I'm like I was like, you're not even fucking paying attention. Screw you too. I'm just gonna sing the alphabet song. But the truth is, you are. I'm just behind on my computer. Like right now, you look really pissed on my computer screen, but that's not that same. Nope. Nope. There it is. See, we're almost caught up.
Welcome in, Jody. We're listening to LFT. Decide whether I'm angry or not. I'm not really sure.
No, if anything, I was getting angry. I was like, will you at least pay attention? Like, I think I'm making a point. And you're like, I just want to take over. I'm messaging some. I just need to take.
Well, I had to send a message.
I don't even care. I know. I don't care whatever message. Do what y'all need to do. I don't even know what's going on. But
normally I don't do this during live, but that one had to be sent because I needed to explain myself. I need to explain myself. I told you guys, our mods run the channel. We're just here. Like, it's a fact. If there's anything going on and a mod is messaging me, oh, thank you. There's another mod's messaging me. Thank you, Brandy. But I had to explain something because our mods run things, and if they see something's off, they're like, nope. Block first, ask questions later. And I was like, no, don't block. No, you can message all you like, Brandy. It's totally cool. It's absolutely cool. It's no problem. And it wasn't you. So don't even worry about it. It's totally fine. Mod Squad. It is. We have literally, and everyone is a friend. Like, that's the cool thing about our mods is everyone is a friend. So they're super protective and they're really cool and they take good care of us. And we're really honored that they chose to be a part of our channel. So I'm always like, I don't have to talk them up. They do their own, they handle it themselves. This is their channel. I'm just I'm just here. Ask Crazy Mama. She'll be the first to tell you. Her and Nay and MK, they run this shit, and we're just here. We're just here. The defense seemingly did rebuttal to the state's closing that ruined their opportunity. It was choppy and disorganized. I felt the same way. I felt that the defense, that Jim Griffin didn't do the job he was hired for. I really think that he fell apart at the end. I think he was tired. I think they all were. The irony in all this is the boat crash puts it all in motion. Paul's video convicts his father, who was found guilty on the 4-year anniversary of Mallory's body being found. That's true. That's true. Mallory's body was found. What was the date? It was 8 days after, right? No, he wasn't on his game. Jim was not on his game. I don't know what I wonder, do you go on or do you just retire? I think Jim was completely over it all, including Big Red. Yeah. Oh, I know you're being a good Wolfie. Wolfie's always good. I think we're probably going to end it, right? Jim discovered his client was guilty. Jim discovered
I don't think so.
Friend. I think he discovered his friend. That's your friend. Keep that in mind. That's your friend. That's what he was crying about. That's my friend. My friend Paul. That's your friend. I think he discovered his friend was guilty. I think they knew the truth, guilty, and their defense. Listen, no part of me thinks that they didn't know what time it was. No part of me. And LFT and I we've had conversations on this. I
disagree. I think Jim, for all intents and purposes, is a great. I mean, he's not a criminal he's never done it. Certainly hasn't defended in a murder trial. Like they said, I mean, he's got a very, I believe, like that analytical. He's kind of business, the basics. He does like the white collar kind of crime. This isn't his wheelhouse, and I do think he was fumbling. But I also think I used to think it was maybe because he was like, I can't even make excuses or even qualify or attempt to give any oomph to anything that Alec has said. But at the same time, y'all, I literally think he thinks Alec is innocent. I think Griffin believes that he did not do this. I think Griffin believes that. No matter right now, I think he's going with his heart instead of it. His head is in lawyer mode, looking to break this down. What can he do for his client? He's not looking at it as like.
I think Jim's specialty is appeals, and maybe that's why he was on the case to begin with. I did not know that. Oh, thank you, Savage, for being here. We are so grateful. Thank you very much for being here, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, that could be. But then again, that goes back to knowing that he was guilty and planning ahead, right? I shouldn't say that. But you're hedging your bets. You're hedging your bets.
So then I don't understand though how they can didn't they I know they opened the door. I know Griffin opened the door to the September 4th shooting, to having that being brought in, right? Did they open the door themselves after objecting to having the financial, like the bad conduct stuff come in? After objecting to that, did they not accidentally open the door for the financial stuff as well? Or was it
there
just
was any accidents? No, I don't.
That's what I'm wondering. So that's why I don't know how they can argue that in their appeal, because while Harpootlian made it, he objected to wanting, to have this, but
maybe opening the door on purpose to get an appeal, perhaps like I said, hedging your bets. I think it's like the first thing that came to mind, and I'm just not a fan of premarital. What are those? Prenup. Like I'm not a fan of prenups. I think you're planning for something terrible to happen. I hate that. I think it sucks. I think prenups are dumb. But I mean, I also think if you're like super uber wealthy, you need to protect yourself. Okay, fine. Yes. I understand the concept. I just, on a normal, everyday average couple, I don't see the necessity. That's what I see this as. As we're talking, I wonder if that was like the prenup. You know what I'm saying? Like you're hedging you're hedging your bets. You're planning for the future. I don't know.
But I don't know how they could then. He knows he's got it. He knows that he can't then use that as the appeal though, because it was their line of questioning and the client committed and didn't object to it. And then it's everything with the client getting on the stand and admitting all this stuff. I
don't know.
I think
I need to learn more about the appeal processes. I think I said that last night, but I really need to look because I don't know it. And I want to address No Way because she's asked several questions and I want to make sure we address her. Hello, welcome in. Thank you so much. Can we get all the discovery? We can get whatever is not redacted. And I mean, redacted. It could be a million things. How do you get it? You file. Are we going to, can anyone? Yeah. Anyone can file for it. It's public record.
Just pay for it.
Yeah. It's going to be expensive. Oh, and you bet it's going to be like probably a couple of $500 to get it. We're going to try for it. I'm not going to say anything about it. We're going to try for that. But we are going to, come hell or high water, we're going to get that discovery and
I want to read through it. Yeah, I want to read through it because there are certain things that
it does.
I can't quite like now that people too are being a little bit more liberal with what they're saying in terms of these bigger, even on like Law and Order, even any kind of interview, they're bringing up points that like is something that they've been feeling and they were just and now they can put it out there, and there were things I didn't even think about, and I think they are going to try like make an effort to appeal, but everyone at the end of the day has been like, he's confessed, I mean, and he's lied, I mean, he's admitted, I mean, it's not going to work out well. And
hold on, packet FOIA requests, let's see what this says.
I looked last night.
This is to acknowledge a receipt of your FOIA request dated on regarding payments. Mr. Mur-Done was authorized as a volunteer and preliminary assisted his father.
Quite honestly, what's your sign? I'm surprised Alec didn't stand up halfway through Griffin's closing and tell him to sit down. He knows the case better than he does, and he'll handle it from this point forward. I'm literally, I would not have put it past me. I think that probably took a lot of restraint from Alec to not want to be like, just Griff, just come here, I gotta tell you something, and just slap him in the face and sit him down and be like, let me finish. I'm surprised he didn't object for real and just stand up and do it himself.
We're going to file a FOIA for the Murdoch stuff and see what we get. I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know how much it's going to be. I just tried to look and see, and it doesn't say, but we're going to file a FOIA request and see what we can get.
Did you notice that who didn't sit next to each other afterwards? Like when they went back to the table, or wait, or who were the two that we're talking about? I do think Alex will end up representing himself.
I have to take a picture of something really quick.
He's going to sit in that
Do you think he will, for real?
Yeah, I think he will sit. He's going whenever he gets settled, wherever they send him to where he is, and once he gets in, what time he gets, he's going to be in that law library and be doing, his thing. And he's got to be careful because the money will run it. I mean, the money will become a bigger problem as time moves on if he keeps doing this. And so I think he'll throw Griffin and them under the bus, claim ineffective. At minimum, at some point, he's going to go ahead and claim ineffective counsel. And
Did you know that Alec had one of the millions of side businesses that he had was they had a jelly ball business where they would catch jellyfish, because apparently jelly balls are $10. People eat them in foreign places.
You can pick them up and chuck them. Like they look like little bombs.
But yeah, so the funeral home too. Right. Yes. On the island. Yes. So they would, is it farming, fishing? I don't really know what the term is. Please forgive me for my ignorance on that. But they would collect all these jelly balls and sell them to whomever. And that was another business that he had. And it wound up being illegal, and they had to shut it down because when you collect these, when you fish for these jellyfish, I guess, I don't know, they release a toxin in the water when they're caught. And they were collecting so many that they were tainting the water. Like farm raised fish. Okay, thank you. That's what I thought too. I was trying to sound it. Yes, the toxins. Did you see that too? You saw that too. BB saw that too. BBJ saw that too. It releases toxins, and it was damaging the water. And they had the people that lived around there, I guess, the trucks were also an issue. The trucks coming at all times of night were an issue. And people complained. They're also medicinal purposes to treat blood pressure and bronchitis. No way. This is why I love I learned so much from you guys. Honest to God. I told you I'm not the smartest person in the room. I have everyone else around me being smart. I love that. Well, should we say good night? Because we've been on here like a really long time, and everyone's got to go do their thing and go to bed and be good people and not choke. I wondered if it was used to traffic drugs. I did wonder that. I thought that was a great cover for trafficking. I don't think it was the lookout that they were talking about. And I think you and I are on the same, we watched the same thing. Yes, and then go live again in 2 hours. I love my wolf. Wolfie doesn't sleep. It was Mandy, was it? Okay, thank you for that. Thank you, Grumpy Cat. I appreciate you telling me, because I like to give credit to wherever I she's grumpy. I'd like to make sure that wherever we get the knowledge from, that we give that person credit, because that's what you do. You don't take credit for someone else's work. And Mandy is a badass. She's the one who cracked this whole damn thing open. The whole damn thing. Like a bad egg in a jury room. She cracked this shit wide open. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to show you is, I don't know if you guys saw this. We're getting more emojis. This is my wolf emoji, and this is my cousin Eddie emoji. Just emptying the shitter, because I love cousin Eddie. But now we're going to do more emojis for our members. And we're going to do a Cheerio for my friend LFT over here. Apparently we need a Cheerio for her. Nicole Morgan, hey. What's up?
No, we don't need a Cheerio one. We can do
we need a Cheerio. Oh, we definitely need a Cheerio.
No, we don't.
Cheerio. Do we need a chicken? I think we need a chicken. Poor cousin Eddie, right? And my wolf, look at this. Is this wolf not the most? I love this one. This is so pretty. But yeah, we need suggestions from you guys. What emojis do you want? You want a nugget? You want a nugget? Yeah. Members get to choose. Do you have Cheerios? Do you have a PO box for donations, or do any? Yes, we do. We actually I can I will
The tip
drop
jar?
the tip jar. If you so desire, you can do this. And also, in the event that you ever want to contact us,
our email.
Decipher Podcast 1. We love to hear from you guys. Oops, I spelled Gmail wrong. I do it every time.
You really do that every time.
I do
And you
every
forgot.
time.
Oh wait, yeah.
I forget.
Sometimes what?
I forget the S on podcast too. Well, I go so fast that I'm not. Decipherpodcast1@gmail.com. Okay. No Shavene, you're the cutest.
I thought it was really good when we misspelled you misspelled Mur-Done the other day. You're like, will you go look at what I wrote? It was already been posted. And I was like, she's like, how's it look? I go, great. I was like, I'm just gonna let's just spell Mur-Done right. Let me just
right.
let me just edit the little edit button real quick. Nailed
She's
it.
here to make things more perfect, because Lord knows it ain't me. But we do love to hear from you guys. And Facebook, if you'd like to join our Facebook group, you are more than welcome. You have my phone number. We do have a phone number for Decipher Podcast, but you can send us messages first, GB. Where's our Facebook page? Why is it not coming up?
I sent it. It's in the list.
I know. Can you drop it by any chance?
Not even remotely, because I'm on my phone. And if I
do you hear my sigh?
But do you want my sound to go all robotic and stuff?
No, I don't. I just want to be able. Oh, there we go. I did it. Yay me! I don't. We have mods for this. I don't.
Right,
I don't know how to do this stuff.
This is amazing.
So if you would like to email us or join our group and message us, or whatever, you're more than welcome. We love to hear from you guys. It's very interactive over here. Mm-hmm. This is not us preaching. This is us asking questions, and we really need your help. It's a group effort, and the best thing about our little community, which I don't know if we're a community or not. I just like hanging out with my friends and talking true crime. That's really what I like. I like to talk true crime with smart people, and you guys are the smart people I like to hang out with. So, I don't know. You guys are fun. We like this. And as long as there's dumb criminals who are going to break the law, we'll be here discussing.
Hey,
what?
There any car chases? Did you any alerts for any car chases?
No. It's been a slow Saturday night in LA.
Man.
I'm gonna have to look up an old one to fall asleep.
Yeah, I was like, that's really
you
sad.
Love the way we rumble. Oh, Wolfie, thank you. Thank you guys for being here tonight. We are every time you come in and you participate in our chat and you like one of our videos and you ask questions of us or you deliver information, it really we hang out with God, you're the best. We're so honored that you're with us, you guys. Oh, JB, thanks.
We go live.
We do go live often. We try. We're
learning to. We're trying to be better.
We are trying. You know what we love to do is we love to research. I don't think I'm very good at lives, so I don't love to go live, but I love to research.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm not good on lives. But
you're fantastic.
I'm still okay with it, though. I think that's the difference.
We're getting better. It's just not something. That's why I forced myself on camera tonight to be real with you, like to be 100%. Is I forced myself on camera because I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But if I'm going to be real and we're going to deliver this information, we need, occasionally I got to show my face and say, this
I'm
is
not
me.
doing it. I'm not
You
doing
don't
it.
have to. That's okay. You're still beautiful and brilliant. We love you guys so much, and we thank you for interacting in our chat and being here. Are you making out with Wolfie?
So call me who?
Shabanae.
I have
Shabanae
no
and
idea what's
Wolfie.
going.
Shabanae and Wolfie they're handling their business. Oh, you love the blur background? So did Allie. Allie loved it too.
See,
It's
I'm the one
funny.
that's like, I don't like it.
Yeah, she didn't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
All right, you guys, have a great rest of, it's Sunday here. And I know in Australia, it's damn close to Monday. And there's my husband snoring again. You loved the guessing. We got to play that more often, Wolfie. That's funny. We just wanted to say thank you so much for spending your Saturday with us. And I hope you guys have a great Sunday. It's a Sunday afternoon. See,
Mhm.
Okay. Sunday afternoon in Australia. Enjoy your Sunday. Please go to your favorite creator, if that's whoever it is. It doesn't have to be us. We love you and appreciate you if it is, but go to your favorite creator and go
Pay it
like a
forward.
couple of their videos, leave a nice comment, and just be nice to each other. Be cool. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a wank.
Pooty. Don't be a dick pooty. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. And I don't know, maybe we'll talk tomorrow. Who knows? I don't know what we're going to talk about, but maybe. Maybe we'll do something in the afternoon. There's sports is weak this time of year. I hate that.
Maybe there'll be like something super funny, like we'll find.
Maybe. I tried to start the stream out well with funny things first. If you missed the beginning of the stream, go watch the beginning of the stream if you need a good laugh. Usually we end on a laugh, but I started on a laugh. So anyway, I'm sorry, you guys. I just can't say a quick goodbye. I love you guys.
I know this is like
you
the
have a
goodbye
great
tour.
night.
We're doing amazing.
Really
Let's keep. Oh my god! Hey, I dropped my glasses. Can you get mine?
I can't reach them.
Oh,
sorry.
Well, then we should probably get out of here. People are staring.
We should probably get out of here.
Awkward. We should probably go. I know, but they keep taking our picture. This is so humiliating.
Don't tell them we're still here.
Paparazzi. I know. Seriously, let's peace out.
Bye, guys. We love you. Have a great night.
Bye, y'all.